Fat folk flame, 94, nigga. The raw, Mac Lamb, no brains. Yeah, fuck with the style, boy. Fuck with the style, nigga. Get over. The bus got no brains. Fuck with the back, no brains. No brains, boy. Fuck with the back, nigga. Fuck with the fat folk flame. Fuck like this. Fuck with the back down, yeah. Here come, watch the fuck though. Fat folk flame, come yo. Slow it down. No brains, no brains. Full of brains, nigga. What the fuck, baby, ma? And bass up the track a little bit, cause I'm here. I want to hear that booms, booms. You know what I'm saying? Now who got the flavor that comes a dime a dozen that keeps them buzzing, thinking that they fat when they bustin'? Welcome to the world of Mac, or Mac. You small like saying that you them shit like packs on. I'm incredible, better eat the vegetable. Cause I does what I do. I fake the roof off a soft sucker, super smacking, knocking, full effect, mic check, 1, 2. I'm a rain forever, rain like bad weather, rain like whoever never. You can't bite my style, cause my style ain't a style that is a style, so I can go buck wild. Bet you figured you got more funk for flow, it ain't so. Flavor in your ear, let you know. Now I'm about a second from the hook, look, strap your rap book before you get your wet style shook. Can I get down, boy? Get on down. Can I get down? Can I get down? Get down. Get on down. Can I get down? Can I get down? Comes the back. Get on down. Can I get down? Can I get down? Get on down. Can I get down? The max like superintendent. Burning MCs leaves them found scent. See, I'm like what you call king of yes, y'all. My style Rick sick, got me real sick. Shit's thick. I come with the ammo, the real whammo, slammo, step the dobby drama. And all with the quick, let's warm up the hot plate. I'm changing fate from the net down my casket. My rap loves the alienate. Shake your ass till it's late. You stomp, I dominate. See, I ain't scared, you ain't scared. To me, you're all suckers, cause I make the buck. Make it noise, drop the buckets. We roll bulletproof, no coof on the roof, biting like a saber tooth. Can I get down? I pound on the ground when I get down. So let me get down. Let me get down. Can I get down? Get down. Can you get down? Can I get down? Get on down. Get on down. It's time to get down. Can I get down? Get on down. Can I get down? Can I get down? Here we go. Get on down. Can I get down? Can leap a tall building, crush the earth for fun, but I'm saying ain't no fair. Yo, when them ain't no fair. The mic's now in the right hands, cause the max on the earth just to foil your plans. More pep than the pepper that's in your pepper shake. Get on down. Earthquake, I couldn't take me if your mama make it. I back up the funk that I bring with unknown to man slang with bigger bite than the devil fan. I ain't met who can hang. If you're testing in your lesson, got me dressing for your funeral session. Man, it won't even matter no more. Dragging out for just won the war. My style will definitely take you over. Have you sitting looking over then the photo Chevy Nova? Why I order? Smack it down, man. I figure it's a slaughter in the world of dollars. Shit ain't nothing but a quarter. Break it down, so let me get down and pound up the empties in the ground. Can I get down? Get down, boy. Get on down. It's time to get down. Can I get down? Come to the back. Get on down. Can I get down? Can I get down? Boy. Get on down. Get down. Get down. Can I get down? Get on down. Get on down. Can I get down? Get down, boy. Down, down.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. What's good with everybody? I'm going to keep the camera back today. I don't want y'all all in my face. What's good, man? Thank you for being here. It's like 1:35. My apologies. I did have a phone call. Whoever told me to get off the phone and come on and all that old stuff, when you start paying me, then I'll be here at 1 o'clock. When you start paying me, I'll be here at 1 o'clock. Let's not start that. I'll remind you once again. All right? When you start paying me like my phone calls pay me, then I'll be here to service you just like I service my phone call. Thank you, Mama Birch. She said, look good, sound great. Thank you. Tim Scott, what's good, bro? Blue is mine, Kentucky all the way. What y'all talking about? Favorite colors? I seen someone say favorite color. What's good with everybody today? Thank you, Tiffany Daniels. I seen some comments way before then. I just want to say hello to everyone that's here. Let's just give the Wyatt Live Show a hand. 6 years strong, 6 years consistent, 6 years being here and being able to get through all the little unnecessary things. And, you got a few lovers, you got a few haters, you got a few ifers and doers, and you got people that do, you got people that don't do shit. You got people that, we got a lot of different personalities here. Only a few of them show up and are seen, but a lot of them hear us. A lot of them hear us. You can't do the numbers that we doing. And see, a lot of people don't know. I see the numbers. I see the numbers and I see where it's coming from. Like I did that breakdown of the age breakdown, the demographic, and the whole nine of where it's coming from, the majority of where the listeners are coming from, and the age bracket, that they're in. I get it, all the way from Facebook to YouTube to Twitch to whatever platform, TikTok, whatever platform we're on, it shows the numbers. Michelle Hardy, thank you for the photo and on my timeline. She took a picture of her Wyatt Live mug and said happy anniversary to the Wyatt Live Show. I want to thank you for coming in and sharing your love and appreciate the purchase and the whole nine. You kind of like one of our day ones here, and I appreciate you being a day one here. I appreciate it. Nothing wrong with the new folks. It's just what I've learned in here is this: the new folks don't understand me yet. The new folks think I'm arrogant. The new folks think that I think I know everything. The new folks don't know that what I'm talking about in 2026 and a lot of 2025 are the things that over the years, in the 6 years we've been here, I'm just frames ahead of the conversation. I say things before a lot of people say them. So when it circles back and it comes around and we were right, I was right, then I look like an arrogant ass. I look like somebody that just wants to say, I told you so. That's it. And unfortunately, it's like walking into a party, not understanding the room. And when you walk in late, you think somebody is wrong, but you weren't there for the initial conversation. You weren't there to understand why people are looking the way they look in or feeling the way they feel. You know what I'm saying? The party don't start when you get there. The party may have already started. The conversations have already started. Whatever happened already happened. You're just late. So don't think that people are crazy because you don't know what's going on. You might know what's going on in the topic, but you don't know how that topic was laid out. You don't know all the things that were actually going on. Guys, I do want to say I apologize. Some comments are coming in, but the screen wasn't moving. It was like froze. Now all these comments are coming in all at the same time. So if I'm not saying anything back to your comment, I apologize. It was just that the screen is now just catching up to me, just now moving. Chats, please. See that just came in. Hold on one second. Let me go back a little bit. Thank you for all those that are wishing us a happy anniversary. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Yeah. With no breaks, Mama Birch. No breaks. Every once in a while, I might have somebody on and I have to make a run and wash my hands, go to the restroom or something. Ross says, Wyatt, feeling it. I must have been dancing or something. I'm not a very big dancer. Darren Chamberlain says, I'm not sure if I'll be very active. I'm going to talk my stuff. Brenda Harris, what's good? How you doing? Kim Moore Everhart, red is my favorite color. So that's what you guys are talking about, your favorite colors. Tiffany Daniels said, happy anniversary. Okay, I'm starting to catch up now. For some odd reason, it went. Thank you, Sean D. Nutter. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Preston. What up, Ed? Thank you, Regina. What's good, Roz? Alethea, what's happening, sis? She says, what a great anniversary attire selection. Thank you very much, sis. I appreciate it. You know my tie line. We bring it. Get that RK Wyatt. Get that RK Wyatt tie line. Maybe I should start advertising it on here. But something tells me the personalities, I kind of know those that rock ties and those that don't. Like I know DH rock a tie. He'll rock a tie. David Herring, I don't even know if he's here yet. He'll rock a tie. Some of y'all a little rough, like rough around the edges on your comment. I doubt that you're going somewhere that you kind of have to wear some opulent. I'll be honest with you. I know. I feel myself today. I don't know if some of y'all wearing opulent, feeling opulent. I don't know if you walk in rooms where you necessarily need my line. My line is for people that's going in to make moves. You feel me? Like you walk in and the room, you attract, the room is yours. You feel me? Every time I walk in a room, I feel like, okay, I'm here now. Let's get things started. I don't ever feel like I'm walking into a room late. That's just a leader's mentality. I don't feel like I'm walking into a room late. I don't feel like that. I quite honestly feel like shit don't get started till I get there. I don't mean Wyatt Live. I'm talking about when I do business. I feel like I'll be honest, and I'll just tell you, I feel like I feel valuable. That's what opulent is. I feel valuable. And when you have self-value and you know what your worth is, you know that they can't move without you. They can, but it won't be like with you. You feel me? And I've always been that way, yo. I mean, not maybe as a kid, but as a grown man and how I carry myself in business, I feel like, hey, you know what? I've heard more no's than I've heard yeses in my life. And I think a no means now you and I aren't going to do business. You don't want to do business with me, but guess what? I'm going to do it without you. I'm going to do it with you or without you. Matter of fact, let me put this announcement out. I almost put a post out the other day, but I said, I'll save it for Wyatt Live. I'll save it for here. Put it out here first. Maybe I'll get some feeders. Maybe I'll get some people that'll want to talk about it, or not talk about it, but bring it to me. I'm currently looking to purchase an HVAC company. If anyone has an HVAC or HVAC company that they're looking to sell in the Midwest, I'm interested. I'm interested for an existing company. I don't want a company that I have to build from scratch. I don't want to hire employees. I don't want to do any of that, but I am interested in an HVAC company right now. If you know anyone, it's probably 50 to 55 years of age or older who's looking to retire soon and or your uncle has it or your grandfather or your father has it and you're not looking to take over the business or anything, please reach out to me. I'm very interested in purchasing an HVAC company at this point. I would love to make it part of my portfolio. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I'm not skilled or crafted in that trade. However, I know the value of it, and I'm very interested. So if you know anyone who's maybe don't even want to sell, they may not want to sell at this point, but you never know in the next 5 years. That is going to be my move when I'm into my retirement. I plan on buying companies or investing in companies and turning one or two over. An HVAC company is one that's on my list. And what we want to do, I have a couple of friends, not that I grew up with, but business associates that do have I don't know. Geiler is more like plumbing and heating and cooling. So yeah, it's an HVAC company. But I know the Geiler family. Our kids went to school together for many, many years, and you know, I respect them highly, and it's been a family business for many, many years. But they have family members, they have grandkids and great grandkids that are in line to take over those companies. So that probably won't happen for me. However, there are guys that have had small businesses, they're 50, they're 60 years old, they don't have kids. They don't have they don't have anyone to leave it to. It's just going to go out of business. Mr. Jones was the same way. He had his business for 40 years. Leroy Jones had his business for 40 years, and his kids, Jamie and Valerie, didn't want to have anything to do with that business. So what they did is they split up the assets and went on and did whatever they wanted to do in life, which is fine. But what happens to the man who put 40 years or 42, 43 years into a business and can't leave it to anyone? Look at all that book of business, that was left there. Yeah, it's I don't want to say sad. It's just it's a different thing. Kim Moore Everhart says Lamont Curry. I know Lamont. Lamont has done business with. I've done business with Lamont. Lamont Curry owns an HVAC company, but he's new. You know what I mean? He's fairly new. I mean that's he's probably only 5 years old or something like that. Maybe 4. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe 3 or 4 years old. Maybe working on his 5th year. He's done. He's done He's done some work at my offices in Cincinnati. He's done all 3 of my office buildings, and he's a good guy. I mean, he has we have mutual friends. He's the father of one of my girls that I grew up with, one of my girlfriends that I grew up with. His father, they have children together, or a child together. He's a good guy, real nice guy, good fella, including the young lady. They are, they're good people. But yeah, he's a little too early. He's too early for me. His company is a little too early. I'm looking for one that's already established. And you never know. You never know. He may hear this. Lamont listens to the show sometime. He know who I am. He may listen to this and he may say, well, why don't you? He might have a different approach. Okay, but Lamont is a good guy. He may come at me and say something different that might be intriguing. I may consider it. I don't know. I doubt it. If I was him, I wouldn't. If I was him, I would continue to grow on my own. I wouldn't want someone like me, because my intentions is to grow it and to sell it. So I wouldn't want someone like me to come along and then, try to buy the lion's. I mean, I'm not going to take any less than 51%. So I don't want to soak up his company. I think he's a hardworking guy. And, my intentions are a little bit different. It's not for a guy that wants to hold on to their company. I want to buy an HVAC company. They are very lucrative. It's a very lucrative business, and it's a business that stays busy all year round, whether you're in the wintertime, whether you're in the summertime, fall, spring, it doesn't matter. I'm looking to do something in the areas of HVAC, plumbing, all of it. You see what I'm saying? These are businesses that will never be replaced by AI. And yeah. Yeah. So, those type of businesses are things that we should really be looking into, dibbing and dabbing and investing in, even if we don't do the business, if we're not involved hands-on. You know what I mean? You're not out fixing the HVAC, there's nothing wrong with actually, bringing people in that actually do that work, like Lamont Curry and them guys. I mean, they go to school and they get the knowledge. A lot of people, now I'm not talking about Lamont Curry himself, but a lot of people who have the skills to fix things, they don't have the ability to run a company. That's kind of what a lot of contractors, that's why they have bad reputations. Some of them get overwhelmed. Okay. They know how to fix something. They know how to get things done. They know that space. They know how to do all of that. The problem that they run into is they get overwhelmed with the business part of it. They don't understand business. They don't understand how to stick to your prices. They don't understand how to, a lot of them don't understand customer service. A lot of them don't understand the other aspect of making a company successful. All they know how to do is do the work, do the, do the fix, make the repair. You know what I mean? Break it down, know what needs to be fixed. That's it. They're not going to be the receptionists. They're not great receptionists, and they're not great bookkeepers, some of them. So, it takes a team in order to be successful, especially in a small business. I say that all the time when we're dealing in small business. I tell people all the time, your biggest downfall is you're not going to have enough time to make things right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it all. It's very important that you surround yourself with people who's willing to volunteer and help or work for little or nothing. You have to, I mean, it's just the honest thing. I can't be more honest than that. It's very, let me just tell you what I told a friend who I lost. I lost a friend I wouldn't say the other day, but it's been close enough for me to say the other day. Brenda Harris says, doing laundry and listening and watching. Thank you, Brenda Harris. Bless your heart. I lost a friend recently. I probably shouldn't even tell this story. It's just me doing what I do and I talk too much. I'm a brutal friend. I'm a friend that tells you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. I want friends like that around me. I told my friend the other day, it's a female. Bless her heart. I mean, she's very aggressive. Her entrepreneurial spirit is on 10. She's always coming up with, you know, okay. She's always coming up with great ideas. I'll say that. There's nothing really unique about her ideas, but what I love about her is she's not afraid to pursue her dreams. She might wake up tomorrow and have a new dream. All right. Her dreams are not like set in stone. She's, I guess it's one of them things where she has the personality where she will throw an idea up against the wall, and whichever one of them stick, that's what she's gonna ride with. She's gonna roll with that. Jack of all trade, king of none or queen of none. You feel what I'm saying? That's dangerous. That's very dangerous, because a lot of people don't understand what it takes, the commitment, the time that it actually takes to run a small business and to make it successful. And when you're doing three or four different adventures, it's very hard to really be a king or a queen at one of them. You're spread too thin already, and now you're making yourself even more thinner. It's almost impossible to win when you're trying to do 3 or 4 adventures at one time with limited capital, limited resources. It's almost impossible to be successful at it. Well, she got mad at me because I was honest, and I told her not the other day, but I told her one day, I said, listen, I appreciate you, Queen. I love you for I love it. I love what you're doing. And but I gotta be honest with you. You keep switching up, and the things that you keep doing, you're giving up too soon. You're putting all you have in too early. Like, I don't even know how to like, you're giving it all you have for 6 months. 6 months don't work out. Now you're ready to switch up with something else because this isn't working out, and you can't gauge yourself off of 6 months. I think your biggest problem, and I'm saying this out loud to everyone because we have entrepreneurs in this room, and they need to hear this. All right. I think your biggest problem is you have too many people around you that you're trying to show and prove that you're a business person. You have more people around you that you're trying to impress than that are actually trying to help you pursue your business. And I don't understand, like, people, that's the difference between a real hustler, entrepreneurial, versus one that just want to pretend to be one. I got a buddy, I know somebody that got a t-shirt company, and he puts out t-shirts on social media like he got 2,000 or 3,000 t-shirts in inventory. And so when you call and say, well, can I get a medium? It could take them a week or two to get you a medium, because you're not for real. You're faking, acting like you move in these units, but you're really not. People get tired of that type of shit. You're a bad business person when I call you and say, hey, I need a medium, and then I need that so I can wear it tomorrow, or I can wear it in the next couple of days. And you got to, well, I ain't got no mediums right now. I'm waiting for my printer and all that. Get the fuck out of here. Look, all I'm saying to you is be about it. Be about it. Tanika right here. She says, and I know what Tanika does, so I'm gonna use her as an example, but let me read her comment first. She says, I always tell people to do one project at a time, then move on to the next one. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But now let me say this to you. Tanika's pretty adamant. She's pretty committed to her cake and cake company, right? I guarantee you. Now, I don't know for a fact, but my guess, I would put the money on what I'm about to say. If I call Tanika today and say, Tanika, I got a function this weekend. I'm going to Chicago, and I need you to ship a cake to Chicago. My wife and I's anniversary is this weekend. Y'all know that. So if I could call it Tanika right now and say, hey, I need a pound cake to come to Chicago on Sunday. Okay. I need that out. Can you get that out for me? Well, she's probably going to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Because she's committed to that. She ain't going to tell me, well, I got this, you know what? I got to make sure I got all my sugar. I got to make sure I got, I got to make sure I got this. I wouldn't, I don't expect that from her because she's pretty committed to the cake game. I don't think she has the bakery of, cakes, and think that she does that. And she's running a janitorial service at nighttime at the same time she should be baking cakes. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we do way too much, and we put way too much on our shoulders, and it's almost impossible to be successful. Jerica, is that Jerica or who is that? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Somebody was making a reply to Jerica. Tanika said, I'll ship it today. I'd ship it today. Okay. Which means you can get to it today, which means my cake would be ready by this evening and she can ship it out today. And that's what you want from a small business. That's what you want. Dina Johnson says, what's worse? Okay, pardon me, my screen moved. She said, what's worse is when you refer people to them and they don't deliver. It's embarrassing. That's exactly right, sis. That's exactly right. You know how many times people ask me, do I have a shirt printer? Like, I'm in a textile business. I know you guys know that I own a textile company. We do gift shop for casinos. We do gift shop for travel. One of my largest, I never thought that I would, I'm gonna open up the platform today for questions if you have any questions for me, because it's the 6th anniversary. I feel pretty good. I won't be here very long today. I have a flight tonight. My wife and I are anniversary in Chicago. It's gonna be a turned up weekend for your boy. But I'm gonna open the platform up for questions today. So I never really made this admission, but I do own a textile company, and it pretty much services, and I've had it many years. It services gift shops and not just casino gift shops. One of the things that I tried to, my largest client is probably Carnival Cruise Line. That's my largest client. And some of you know that I go to Africa. And the reason why I go to Africa is because I do have partners that I do business with in Africa. And we do a lot of and things like that on the Carnival Cruise Line on the stops. Okay. So I've been doing that for probably, well, it's 2026. It's probably been 17 years now, a little shy of 20 years. And that's one of my businesses that I'll never let go, because it's what started me. So I'll never let something like that go. It's my baby. It's the thing that really challenged me the most. It put me through so much that it's almost like a guy who has an old car, his first car that broke down, and got him through the snow, got him through the rain, got him to school, got him it's our old car that we just won't get away from. Like, I still have my Nissan Datsun 240. My wife can't stand it, but I keep it in storage. I don't have it at the house here. I don't do any. I just have it in storage because I'll never get rid of that car. That car got me through some shit. All right. Hold on. Let me read a couple of these. Super embarrassed. I'm glad your family liked my cake. Laugh out loud. I don't know. Oh, that was for Dina. Okay. Regina says that's nice and different with the questions. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the phone lines real fast. Let's see what we got going on. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt? This is Black Lion.
Hey, Black Lion. How you doing this afternoon, brother?
I'm doing pretty fair, my king. Hey, I don't want to rehash, but I tried to call you yesterday, but you had a short day, and Twin, took up the time. By the time he was done with that call, you said you were out. You had to somewhere to be.
Yeah. It's no
So
problem.
I don't want to backtrack, but I have to backtrack because our last conversation, clearly Mike, who called you after the fact, and of course Twin,
Okay.
didn't quite comprehend what I was saying. And it appears that they saw what I was saying as protecting Caucasians. When in reality, what I was doing was looking at the rules of engagement and trying to extend the same respect that we will want for our elders.
Mm-hmm.
Versus people just walking up to them because they're disgruntled with whatever they protested and calling them all kind of bitches and niggas and et cetera, screaming at them.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
And now I was explaining this to Ross early this morning as we were speaking. Now, if it was a group of black women, he wouldn't have did that.
Probably not.
Because he's sure that those black women to him, he calling them bitch, let me see what's on your side. What that say, bitch? Look here, nigga. And I'm kind of sure they would have responded. And then they would have been on phone calling them. And these are senior citizens, so they would have been calling their sons, daughters, nephews, grandsons. They would have been calling all of them. Mm-hmm. And they would have showed up and it would have been a problem.
No, I feel you on that. And I didn't disagree with you on that. I didn't disagree with that at all.
Go ahead.
I feel you on that. I didn't disagree with you on that at all. I think what I have a problem with all of it, to be honest with you, bro, is I have a memory. Look, my memory is a little bit like I'm cynical, bro. Let me just say this. Let me tell you what I remember. I remember when innocent black folks used to protest with signs and peaceful signs and peaceful protest. And I remember white folks used to read our signs and spit on us and call us the N-words and all that. And we were peacefully protesting. I remember those days. I mean, I wasn't around. I was a baby, but I remember seeing the videos. I remember
the aftermath. Yeah, the aftermath. We the same age. I remember it too. I grew up seeing that too.
So it's not like, what he did was something new that had been done to us in protest for segregation and in our rights and all that. We used to just hold up signs and get sprayed down with water hoses and been physically attacked more so than just verbally abused when we was protesting with signs saying the opposite of what white folks was looking, what they was talking about. So that's why it's kind of used to happen to us. Now it happened to them. And it's like, why would a black person have a problem with the same thing that happened to us? Now it's happening to them. I mean, I'm not trying to turn it around, but maybe that's how some people see it. Like,
okay, I dig that. But we at least at the juncture in our intellect that we know if it was wrong for them to do it to us,
right? No,
and we didn't want it, it was also wrong, 60 years later to do it to them.
Yeah, but we don't
think and I understand, payback for MF.
Yeah, we don't think like that on everything, because right now, when we talk about let things go, a lot of black folks be like, hell no, we ain't letting shit go. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, we ain't about to just let it go. What about reparations? What about this? What about that? But it seems like sometimes black folks have this selective memory or selective outrage when things fit them politically or whatever. Then it's all, or when we want to have isolated problems, when we want to talk about crime, we don't want to talk about black on black crime, but we want to talk about crime. We want to talk about what other people do and this and this and that, but we don't really want to have self-accountability in certain things. I'm just a little tired of that type of stuff, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, if we gonna do it, let's do it. If we gonna stick together, let's stick together, if we right or wrong.
Well, clearly we're not doing that.
Well, we know that, but that's what we need to work on. That's what we need to do.
It's gonna take us we're gonna have to be forced back into segregation again to work with each other. Because one of the main reasons black people were so prosperous during the time of segregation and was able to build businesses is because you couldn't go to theirs.
Exactly. That's why Black Wall Street was successful.
You was held to a particular, clientele.
Well, that was exactly the reason Black Wall Street was so successful. Black Wall Street was financed pretty much all by black dollar. I mean, to be honest with you, there was a little bit of infiltrate there. You can never do anything 100% black. They didn't in the 1920s as well, because you had Jewish people that invested in Black Wall Street as well. but those were the people that backed the black banks. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I say that I won't say they infiltrated, but they did have some money invested in Black Wall Street because they were the ones that financed the black banks. But at least,
without a doubt. And likewise, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and many other towns black people had. And they all kind of met the same fate throughout the early 1900s going from the 1917 to the early 1920s, where they all rioted them, destroyed them. But yeah, all of them was perpetuated off of the majority, not 100%, but the black dollar.
Absolutely. So
and it was because we were in a situation where we had to rely on one another,
right?
Versus now,
right? So, segregation actually ruined black independence. It ruined it, and you and I both know that.
Destroyed it. Yeah,
absolutely. So, in order for us to work together, I think we on the same page. But in order for us to work together, Black Line, that means that segregation has to kick back in. But
I mean, as horrible as it is, but it shows how we did it the first time.
But wait a minute, why just us? When you look at Jewish people, they work together. When you look at the Mexicans and all the people that are coming into this country, it's not just Mexicans. When you look at all the other immigrants that are entering this country,
one of them,
all of them are segregating themselves. They're only
except for us.
Yeah, they're only entering this society to be part of the society, but they're going to their own churches, they're going to their own communities, they're going into their own grocery stores, they're going into everything that they do is based on building up their economic base. And we
self-segregation. Exactly. And it makes sense. And we the only ones who won't do it.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with I hate to say it, bro, but a lot of it has to do with I'm looking for a nice net. It's not a net. I'm trying not to be nasty, but a lot of it has to do with self-esteem. A lot of us don't lower our guards to be vulnerable for one another. And it has a lot to do with it. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's in real estate, and I have another buddy that's in finance. We will always get the information from one another and then go put our vulnerable moments in with Caucasians or whoever else. Asians, whoever else. We won't be vulnerable to our own because we don't want to be laughed at or seen as weak. It's okay for us to be weak to the white man, but we can't be weak amongst my brothers and my sisters. Now, that is something I've dealt with too. Like I'll give them all the information they need and then they'll go do business somewhere else because their credit score wasn't good. Like I'm going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh at you because your credit score is not good. However, don't come to me when it's time to buy a house or get a car financed or whatever you're doing. Don't come to me and get all the information and then go take it to somebody that don't look like me and then run into a problem. Perfect example, Black Line. You got a second? Can I tell you this example?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm locked in.
Okay, brother, and you probably remember this. I remember listening to the radio, black radio. All right, they about to be mad because I said that, but I don't give a shit. All right, happy anniversary to the Wyatt Live. Listen, I was listening because they had a couple on there that bought a house out in Loveland, and they came to the radio and used them once again. Well, we're black people, and they evaluated our home and property values and blah 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 blah. Well, this couple come to black radio with a problem, but they use white people for everything that they were doing. They used a white realtor, they used a white inspector, they used everything white, and then came to the black radio to complain about how they felt like they were being discriminated for having black pictures on the wall and all that old shit. Maybe they wouldn't have had that problem if they would have been using people that look like them to help them in their business ventures or selling their house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And same thing. It's the same premise earlier you was explaining.
Exactly.
There other communities go back to using their own people as a resource.
Exactly.
To do whatever jobs. I mean, a lot of other immigrants, Caucasians, very rarely hire us to do shit.
Let me ask you some, Black Line. I don't have a problem with people that eat in Chinese restaurants. I don't eat Chinese food That's just I don't like anything but rice, and I don't even eat. I've had African rice before. Now, let me ask you a question, bro. When was the last time you went to a black soul food restaurant and seen some Asians sitting in there?
Never, ever.
When was the last time you went to a soul food restaurant and seen some Mexicans sitting in there?
Never.
Okay. So,
ever.
But if you go to Chili Rah-Rah right now, over in the corners over there, y'all giving parties in them cha-cha restaurants and all type of shit.
Yeah.
Y'all buying
fish and every Arab spot,
dipping the
and
sauce,
they just frying chicken and fish.
Yeah, dipping the sauce in the cha-cha sauce and all that old shit over there, and all that old bullshit.
Got on the Mexican hat and shit.
And they don't patronize none of our businesses. They ain't calling our HVAC companies. They ain't doing none of that. And I'm not mad at them. Why? I'm not mad at them. I'm just giving you an example of what I'm talking about. It's like we have no problem.
We will have to be mad at them, Wyatt.
Well,
because if we don't, we keep incubating the same process.
Well, here's the thing, bro. Unless people like yourself and I bring it to the people's attention, I mean, we got to pay. Somebody got to say it first. All right. Maybe some people just aren't aware of some of it that's happening. You know what I'm saying? But, once somebody says it and bring awareness to it, then there's no excuse. But right now, bro, I just feel like people don't really care. People and they had a right to spend their money where they want to spend their money. But if you're not aware of how you spend your money, how it affects the economy for your own folks, then that's just your own ignorance. I mean, I'm not.
Well, that's kind of heavy. Literally since the 1920s, we 100 years in the game and don't know that.
Well,
that's really that's an incredible notion to accept that we don't understand that.
No, I'm not saying that we don't. I'm saying that people don't care. That's more believable. I believe people don't care more than they don't know. So you saying
they understand, but they just don't give a damn.
That's right.
We doomed to be ruled over forever then. We doomed.
Exactly. Well, let me just say this to you. It's the same principle of this, bro. There are, okay, let's just use it like this. 76% of luxury goods in this country are bought by poor people. Do you think it's because they don't know that they poor, or do you think they just don't give a shit about how they spend their money? You see what I'm saying? They don't care. People don't really care. They don't care how they spend their money. They just want it. They got to have it. They don't care that, the black soul food restaurant went out of business downtown, but they care enough to talk about it, but they don't care about it to maybe have a bad experience at the restaurant. And instead of going on social media and talking about it and, telling and funning and clowning on it, all that old shit, why don't you write the owner a letter or an email or a text, or go down there and ask to speak to the owner and tell them what problem you had, so they will be aware in a different kind of way. That's why I didn't like that Darius Cook dude coming into the city of Cincinnati talking that shit about our black-owned restaurants. I don't like shit like that. I don't do that. Black-owned restaurants are working.
When he could have said nothing. Well, but that's his state, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. See, look, he benefited off the crazy shit he was saying by getting clicks and all the comments and making that little media money, instead of having some type of private meeting with him, trying to fix it, and then try to say, I went to such and such restaurant, I went to Just Cooking and blah blah blah. The first experience was this. You see what I'm saying? Do a before and after. The first experience, I ran into these issues. You can talk as bad as you want about that company, but if you come back and say, but on the second visit when I went in, here's what I discovered. Help them get better. Don't sink them. You understand what I'm saying, bro? Don't sink them. Yep. Help them get better. Helping them get better don't mean making a comment that can shut their doors and not coming back saying, hey, I'm just saying the format could have been a little bit better, bro. That's like me saying, I go into Just Cooking, I had a bad experience, and then then I save it, put it all in one little comment, one little show. I say, hey, this is what I did. I was there on January the 1st, and this is what I had. It was a horrible experience. It was this, it was that. I had a talk with the owner. See what I'm saying? And then we went back 2 weeks later. They didn't know we were coming, and when we came in, it got better. Okay, now that's how you help a company grow. And you don't even live there, bro. How you gonna destroy a black-owned company in a city and then shit on them? You don't even live in.
You don't even live in. It's gonna come back to help perpetuate it further in the future.
And you know what, brother? We was soaking it up. Everybody loved the messy shit. Oh yeah, I went down there on Tuesday and the napkins was dirty. I went down there, they didn't have enough ketchup in the thing. I went down there and it looked like somebody smashed a roach on the door. It just they love to be in that nonsense. And that's part of the problem.
Wyatt, have you ever been to Rashida's?
What is it called?
Rashida.
No.
She used to be on Montgomery in her heyday.
No.
Right there, basically in Montgomery and Dana, between I forget the name of that side street.
What is it? A restaurant?
Rashida.
No, what do they do?
She's still open, but she's up in College Hill on Hamilton, and she's been there, I guess, probably about a decade now, or maybe short of a decade.
Okay, is it a restaurant?
Yes, it's a restaurant.
Okay.
They sell soul food, but she's a Muslim, so it's all pork free. I mean, the best beans and rice and gravy, and her food is just, it's outstanding. My point is,
somebody said she's in College Hill too.
Yeah, that's what I just said, up on Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But and she has the salmon croquette that's to die for. I mean, they good as heck. But anyway, nevertheless, I had one bad experience in the restaurant, and that's because her sons was running it. Her children was running it that particular day, and their customer service, it was just janked the hell up. But I never mentioned it. And matter of fact, not even until the day, and that was about 20 years ago.
Right.
Or almost 20 years ago. And never mentioned it. Yeah, I didn't have to go around demeaning her or her establishment over that one bad experience when all of the other times I went in there, the food, as a matter of fact, even that time, the food was great. It was the service that was janked up.
Right.
Not the food.
Right.
And because, Rashida can cook. But nevertheless, I don't understand how we can go to different Caucasian establishments, get horrible service. They invented a thing called receipt because they was robbing you and taking your money. Defective product, but you still go. But if it's somebody black now,
who was that?
they the most worst. Come again?
What company was that?
No, I'm saying in general, that black people go to various Caucasian companies and get horrible service.
Hey, the reason why I said come again, what company was that, is because what you described, that was a real thing in Cincinnati. Do you remember that company down there across the street from what used to be Shillito's or Lazarus? Used to be called Jordan's, and they sold audio and video. They sold like Walkmans and boom boxes and stereos.
Yeah. I got a little Walkman from there, auto reverse. Yeah, first one. That was in junior high school. Yeah.
Did you say auto reverse? Oh,
yeah,
no.
I was geek, bro. Right. I was like in 7th grade, 8th grade. Yeah.
They were right across right next door to Hardee's. Remember that? They were right next door to Hardee's, the restaurant.
I remember exactly where they were.
Well, guess what they were doing? They were selling refurbished shit to us. That came down in a federal lawsuit many, many years ago. All right. They were selling refurbished. They were buying Sony stuff that was refurbished. Now, keep in mind, I ain't saying I'm better, bigger than none of that. I bought a lot of shit from there. All right. And I guess I bought some refurbished stuff, but there's a federal law.
Yeah, I guess I did too. That's probably why my shit didn't work too long.
But all I'm saying, bro, is those people tend to, they kind to target us. You know what I mean? They make you feel like you're getting a better deal and all this old stuff. And they're supposed to disclose that those things are refurbished from Sony and all those type of products. But they were selling stereos and speakers to the black community for years. And they finally caught a federal case. They caught a federal case because, from my understanding, they were drug dealers. See what I'm saying? They caught a federal case for selling that. They probably put almost 20 years before they really got caught. And it's crazy. Here's another thing I want to wet your taste bud on, Black Lion. And here's, we got to be a little bit more aware of how we spend our money in the city and who we spend our money with and all of that. It come to my attention. Hold on. It come to my attention that, the guy that was involved in the brawl, the guy that everybody was calling the Russian.
Yes.
He sell a lot of black folks vehicles in the city of Cincinnati, and y'all don't even know it. Y'all spending y'all money with a man that y'all calling a racist and a Russian and all that old shit. And he's been getting money off black folks in the city of Cincinnati for years, selling them high-end cars. They own a dealership.
Hopefully he's still not.
Okay. See, they don't even know. They don't even know. I'm letting y'all know because I know. You feel me? And see, that's what it is. We'll bitch and complain about it, blah, blah, blah. But everybody's sending their money. They spending their money over there. See what I'm saying? They spending their money over there. And they don't even know about it. But I'll move on. I'll move on. What else you got, bro?
That's it, bro. I just wanted to clarify that. But nice talking to you as always.
Always, brother. Anytime you call, I'm right here.
All right, one.
Appreciate you. One. All right. It's March the 20th, 2026. It's our 6-year anniversary. I want to say hello to everybody. Thank those that are here, the few and the two. We started with 4. Now we got a few more. And I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you all being here. There's a million things that you can be doing. You could be watching the NCAA basketball right now. You could be doing a whole lot of other things, but you're right here with us today. I'm taking all phone calls. I'm taking all questions. I'm taking any question that you have that you may want me to answer. If it gets lost in the chat, I'm sorry. Maybe call and ask. The phone number is on the screen there. Anything that I might be able to help with or you want to know, I'll do my best to try to answer. I'm an open book today. Let's just say that. If you have a question, I'm an open book today. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's me.
Hey, twin. How you doing?
What?
What you say? I said, hey, twin. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. It sound like you got your chest poked out of some old shit. Did I say something wrong or do something wrong? What's going on?
I'm standing on business. 360 degrees.
Okay, let's hear it. What's on your mind?
You let that little clown back on his show again. That damn Black Lion.
Say it again.
You let that clown back on your show again, Black Lion.
Well, what did he say that was crazy this time? He didn't say anything crazy.
He say all things crazy.
Nah, I think he understood. I think he got a little better. I don't think he agreed with what I said, but we men, so we can agree and disagree. We can agree to disagree. We good. But I think he understood that back in the day when black folks was peacefully protesting, it was white people that came and was physical and calling them ends and names and all that old shit. And it just seemed like for you to defend the same type of people that did that the other day, that it happened to, that just it don't sound right. When Mike called,
that's why I was talking about the 5-star generals, some brothers that have been out there under the guidance of the Black Panther. Some real POW niggas that's real been out there. If they would have stood out, they wouldn't take that smack what's going on with that white people. When they saw that swastika, anything in you and our territory, no. Move around. Move over there in Hyde Park somewhere. Go to Mason, Indian Hills with that. No. I don't care who you with, whatever who brought you out here. That's what they stood about. I understand Black Lion sometime, but man, okay. I don't know. But it is what it is. Man.
Other than that, what's up?
Yeah, he was on point about Rashida's, man, out in Evanston.
I'm gonna have to try that out when I get back.
Man, it was a good restaurant, but I swear to God, why about 15 years ago, I heard about it and like, yeah, hey, come, she got this, she got that. And I said, okay. Man, the customer service, man, trash.
Well, maybe that was that particular
her people, whoever was running that day, man, I got the food because I wanted to taste because Twin was hungry. But it was just the hospitality and the customer service, man, was trash. And then let me tell you this, Wyatt. Hey, look, check it out. It was trash the first time I ate it. It was trash, man, when the first time I ate it, man, because I don't know if they was on some hot stuff or whatever. But I had told her, and I didn't know. No, later on, then after that, I ain't go there. Then I went out to College Hill right there on Hamilton, across from the old goodies. So I seen her. I say, you the one that called Miss Rashida? That your name? Said, yes, baby. And I told her how I felt about it. And then she said, it's on me. I said, no, I'm going to pay for it because, I honor black folks or whatever. I want to look out. So I paid for it. She was going to give it to me free, but I had told her, I said, that ain't how you do business. Man, be clean or sober about the situation, but you had, and my weed box of foam, styrofoam tray smell like weed. Come on, man.
Did they fix the problem?
Yeah, no, they ain't fixed. I took it and stuff, but I didn't realize until I got home. Like, man, I smoke, but man, what is this? And dude, I'm looking at your face. In your face, you faded, but I want to try because people was like, oh yeah, they fine and all that. And that's when it was another Ice barbecue over there in Evanston. I tried them. Trash and stuff. People, hyping it up and everything. I want to, I spend my money with black folks and help them out. But man, I'm gonna talk about you, Wyatt. Don't disrespect. I'm gonna talk about you. If it's nasty, it's nasty. Yeah, I told you that last year. You tried to get on my case about it.
No,
but
I just don't like.
You told me. Remember, it's the same thing with the Ruckus dude, whatever his name, Derek, when he came to the city and whatever he did for clout chasing, whatever. But man, if you nasty, man, you nasty, man. Especially the hospitality and customer service and all that. And I see you got an attitude. I know you gonna do something to my food. What you want? What's this? And no, I'm gone. I'll spend my money somewhere else. That's how I feel about the situation. I support my people, but dang, I gotta get treated like this. And you wonder why you talking about why you got shot with the white man or the Asian and all that. Look how you treat people. It's the customer service. How you doing, man? I'll take your order. Be polite with people. I'm not just go, yeah, what up, bro? What you need? What else? Come on, man. Come on, dog. But to each own, man, I really called, man, to be honest. I really called, Wyatt. I really called. Man, I want to thank you, man, on the bottom of my heart.
Uh-oh.
On God.
Uh-oh.
6 years you.
I'm a little nervous to say why.
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Sit in your baby chair for a minute.
All right. I'm swinging my
legs
at the bottom of the chair.
Real talk, man.
Okay.
I want to thank you for 6 years, man.
Thank you.
You put in hard work, dedication, and time for putting up with us, man. You ain't got to do it, but by the grace of God, and give you the strength and capability of life to engage with the people and let the people know, put you on game and stuff, and let them know, hey, whatever they tell y'all about me, and accept it, that's on y'all. But I'm gonna lead your ass to the wilderness of this situation of what's really going on. Real talk, man. I thank you, Wyatt. Well, I appreciate at first I was,
but
I was skeptical about your situation. I mean, what you was talking about and all that. And I thought you was on the other side. But as I dig in and took time out and really, study and whatever the case may be, and I'm like, man, you're a solid dude. And you can't call too many people solid. Okay. You can't do that, man. You can't call it because solid means something. I'm not going to break it, but, whenever we, touch ground at each other and that thing, I dig into it with it, but I can't really talk about that. Because, man, too many solid people you're not going to be able to cross, man. Not no good ones. No, man, they cutthroats out here, man. Yeah. But if somebody engaged in your mindset and trying to lead you to, hey, man, this how it is, man, regardless of the situation. And then when you hit them and stuff and it's too late, it's like, man, I told you so. They not go, it's too late. Right. And I used to be a hard-headed nigga and stuff, man. That's what led me to, self-destruct. I was hard-headed, but now, hey, my first mind and that killer instinct, like, man, take heed to what they trying to tell you, twin. It's going to lead right to that path. Because I sometimes want to do, go back to my old way, but I know what it's going to cost. I know what it is. I can't help what I think. I try not to think it, but you can't help it. You reminisce sometimes. And your mind said, like, man, I remember this, I remember that day, I remember that day. How much money I had, I did this and I did that. How many women I did, babies, all that extra stuff. But, man, I, pray about it, man. I don't want to go that way, man. I know how fast it can be getting it, but, hey, what's the consequence behind it? Okay. That's the problem. But, yeah, man, I want to thank God for you, man.
Well, thank you.
6 years in the business, man. This podcast.
I wouldn't call it a business.
I mean, I'm talking to for podcast.
I was just jousting.
No, I'm really, compassionate about things, man. I'm holding my tears back, but man, you've been doing it, man. 6 years.
I know.
6 years.
Time has flown by. It doesn't feel like 6 years, but it feels more like 20. To be honest with you, the shit I've been through. No, I'm just kidding.
Much love, man. Wyatt, keep doing you. God, bless you 6 more years or what. Keep continue, man, because you open my eyes on a lot of things.
Well, I appreciate
and everything about the city of Cincinnati and what's really going on. Yeah, and people don't man, you don't know. Okay, just study and then fact check and do your research yourself. You might not always be.
I wish you would tell me. I wish you would tell me someone that said, I don't know what I'm talking about. I bet it's nobody that ever called here. I know,
man.
So why don't if I don't know what I'm talking about, why don't you tell them to call me and challenge what I'm saying?
Come on, why? You know how it is. It's show business, man. Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, they still playing on the balls over there, jumping around. Red light, green light. Come on. Okay. Come on, stop all that playing, man. All right, why keep doing you, man?
All right, brother. Hey,
much love and respect. One love, man.
All right, Twin. Thank you, bro. That was Twin out of Cincinnati. I should be thanking you, Twin. Thank you. You commit yourself and you call. We don't agree on everything. However, you give your you give your opinion and it's valued, and we go there. We spar like me, you, CK. We all spar or whatever. It start out rocky and then we get somewhere. But thank you. I mean, Twin, believe it or not, y'all, whether you like it or not, Twin's been part of this program for probably 3 years now. Half of the time that I can think of, at least a couple years, 2-3 years. Regardless, I mean, in order for this thing to work, there has to be a level of engagement. And yeah, I'll let Twin say what he want to say. When have I ever told somebody that they couldn't say what they say? Because you disagree with what I say, maybe not Twin, but other people. That's what opinions do. Because you get you can't get mad at me because you disagree with me and then I come back with something, or I say, okay, well, whatever. You can't, I don't understand how people can get mad at somebody's opinion and then because they disagree with your opinion or they disagree with you. And now when you say, no, forget all blah, 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 they say, well, you mad because I disagree with you. No, I'm not mad because you disagree with me. I just don't agree with your assessment I just don't agree with your point of view of what we were talking about. I don't get it. I've never said anybody on here is mad because of my opinion. I can tell from your response if you don't agree with me, but I've never said you're mad at what I said. You'll make fun of what I said. You'll make light of what I said. You'll try to make what I said, even if it's it to be the truth, but you hate it to be the truth. It won't be about what I said. You got to find something in what I said to now talk about to divert from what the real point of what the conversation was about. If I said whatever and you don't agree, but it comes to be true, now it's not about what I said anymore. It's how I said it. Or, it's just always something other than the point. And those type of people are very transparent to me. I always know when they really, they either seeking attention or they, to me, it's that lunchroom, that 6th grade lunchroom table thing. It's like that. You tell somebody, okay, you feel that way about what I said, then prove me wrong. And when they say, well, I don't have it in front of me or whatever they say, then why you feel the way you feel if you don't even have proof of what you're saying is wrong, is right? Prove me wrong. That's all I say. So, just for anniversary reasons, I got a couple videos that I want to say, that I want to show you, and I want to say something about it. Brenda Early said, agree to disagree. That's what grown-ups do, Brenda. You know what I'm saying? That's what grown-ups do. Grown-ups agree to disagree. Real talk. Hold on one second. Hold on. Tony Hughes says, Real Talk Twin told me about Wyatt Live. I was sleeping under a rock on this show existing. Well, thank you, Tony. Thank you. I appreciate it. DH says best caller. I think DH. I think he's trying to start something. I think he's asking me to name the best caller. If I had to name the best caller, it probably wouldn't be somebody that you guys would. I don't know if you would remember them or not. The best caller that I've ever had, just so I won't step on toes and hurt anybody's feelings or make anybody mad. I tend to do that at times. My best caller was the owner of a truck company who called me live on the air and was looking for someone that watched the show because he claimed she stole his truck. That was the best call I've ever had on the show. In 6 years, best call. It wasn't Dr. Umar Johnson and all that old shit. I couldn't really go at Dr. Umar Johnson. I gave him my word that I wouldn't talk about or bring up certain things. Y'all got to understand, a lot of those guys, this is why I don't have a lot of interviews and I'm not interested with interviews, is because a lot of them won't come on being like, I had to do a screening with Dr. Umar. He's a professional at what he does. He's a very, very intelligent. He's a very smart guy. He obtains information like a sponge does water and leaves only streaks behind. He's that intelligent. He's a very smart guy. And but saying that, he's smart enough to do pre-screening on his interviews. He's smart enough to say, well, he knows his interviewer before he actually gets on the air. And I did give him my word. I committed. I'll be honest with you guys. I committed not to go in certain areas of a conversation. Feel me? Because some people can see through the bullshit. Some people can just say, their common sense will say, well, what you just said sound good. It was very articulate, brother, but it just don't make any sense. See what I'm saying? Like, you owning a charter school, but yet you're not in favor of school choice. That makes absolutely no sense at all. So to me, it said, school not gonna happen. You don't even believe in the route that it takes for these kids to be financed to come to your school. Just there's certain things that just, if it don't make sense, then it's not real to me. You should be standing on a soapbox screaming for school choice when you're opening up a school. You should be screaming from the top of your lungs for school choice. He wasn't. So in other words, you want to teach, and here go the thing. This is not me being, I'm not trying to be one of those that think everybody, when you start bringing up poverty and poor and all that old shit, that it has to be black folks you're talking about. But if you're going to open up a school that is primarily black, like you promote it as being a black school for black children with black educators and black this and black that and power to the people and all that old shit, for you to think that you can't reach into the underprivileged kids being black, how are they going to finance that program, your school, if they don't have the advantage of school choice, brother? How does that happen? You think the state gonna give you $14,000 because they like you? If you have school choice, that means a 12-year-old or a 9-year-old's parent can choose whatever school that kid goes to, and the financing from the state, the money from the state follows the child, not the school, follows the child. Made no sense. Then I would ask other little things like, okay, let me ask you a question as far as, these are questions that I know to ask because I know some of the things that they need to do in order to open a charter school. I know some of the things, I know the vendors that he's going to need. Like I was asking him different shit. Like I was asking him, well, what vendor are you going to use for such and such? What vendor are you going to use for this, for that? Do you have your lunch program set up? Are you vendoring? Are you using vendors? Are you using self? I mean, what are you doing? How are you bringing the lunch program together? It was crickets. Didn't even have a structural, y'all didn't even have a structural lunch program together. Now, how do you first of all, once again, I told you guys, here was the number one thing, and I'm not trying to get down on bro, but I'm just trying to say, we got to get these pimps out of our culture. Okay. Here's what happened. You don't have a board. You don't have anybody that's helping you. You've never brought anyone forward to say, this is the person that handles that. You cannot open a charter school without a board. You can't open a charter school or a school without having a team of people. And you can honestly say that he's never brought forward a team of people. Here's the person that's going to, here's our HR director. Here's the person that's handling all our staffing. Here's the person that's handling our lunch program. None of that ever came up in talks. It never existed. I just never really, you know what I'm saying? I just never really went, it wasn't necessary. Some of these people are self-checks for me. I don't talk bad about them like that. I don't, because like y'all, like I know for a fact, I never said anything bad about Kamala Harris. I didn't have to. Policies and how she was doing things and the little bit that she was talking about and needed to talk about, it wasn't being done. She wasn't doing interviews. She wasn't doing a lot of stuff. So why? I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to say anything. It was all speaking for itself. Whether you like her or not, this is not a knock on her. This is just to back up myself of saying, oh, they use your platform and you was talking bad. Y'all was talking bad about Kamala Harris. No, I never did. It's like it's like when I made that comment about Trump. I understand why people talking about Trump on the radio and other platforms and on the news. I understand it. He's the president. That's exactly what I said 3 years ago when nobody was talking about Biden. Everybody was talking about Trump and not talking about the current administration. And I said, but he's the president. When I said that, it made absolutely no sense. But I'm so used to this. I'm so used to saying things and it not make sense to people. And then later on, you say the same thing I say, and now all of a sudden it's fucking genius because it come out of your mouth, or that's the way you think at the time. Stephen A. Smith and all of them, they all pump fakes. 2-3 years ago when I was talking about the things I was talking about, they all was dumbfounded, act like it wasn't existent. Nobody wanted to say it. Nobody was speaking about it in real time. Now that it's a little bit more comfortable to talk about how Biden was failing at certain things, how gas was expensive and interest rates were high and inflation was through the roof. Now, all of a sudden, when the smoke clears, you feel comfortable to talk about it. You didn't feel comfortable talking about it in real time because you didn't want Black folks to hate you. You didn't want to be a real leader. You wanted to manage the Black community. You wanted to burn the candle from both ends. You wanted it to be comfortable. Leaders are never comfortable. We're never comfortable. I want to show you this video right here. It's a clip, my favorite video of Wyatt Live. I've had several, but this is one of my favorite ones. And I want to know if y'all remember this. I want to know if you remember this clip right here. Let me see here. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, I got it. And I just want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about this. One of my favorite clips in 6 years. And it backs up my whole premise and the points that I try to make on this platform. I want y'all to listen to this sister right here and tell me how many of y'all remember this sister making these statements, making these comments a couple years ago. Check it out.
I need this message to go out to our vice president who's running for president. I have heard all over social media about, excuse me if I say anything wrong, immigrants getting loans, money. It was hard for me to believe. It was just extremely hard for me to believe. I've been in business such a long time. Back in 2019, I purchased my first food truck. It cost me over $25,000. I paid it cash money. I worked hard to pay for this truck. I'm now selling it because I'm doing other things, but I'm selling it. I had a guy come to look at purchasing my vehicle or my food truck, and he explained to me he's an illegal immigrant. He has no credit. He has no money in the bank. But he showed me his paperwork that he will receive funds to purchase my food truck. I'm thankful that he's buying it, but I'm hurt that I worked so hard to pay cash for my food truck. I have good credit, can't even get a business loan because of the color of my skin. I have veterans in my family. I'm a veteran. I've been self-employed for so long. But somebody, please tell me, how do I work so hard to have somebody who comes to this country, not long, no credit, and he shows me paperwork where they'll be funding him money to buy my food truck. And when I talked to the bank, they told me usually they have to go straight to a dealership because I'm a private sale. But for special circumstances, they're going to, they allow it. But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money. Money! We're doing nothing but just being here. It's not right, and I want answers.
See, I know a lot of people make a joke of that. A lot of people laugh, and they got all these little sly-ass, funny-ass remarks. But see, this is why we're in the situation we're in right now. Because your leaders don't really challenge this. This is a real thing. SBA loans is one thing. And when you don't understand how you're being mistreated, you don't even see it because your leadership won't even bring it to your attention, because if they brought the real issues to the forefront, they have some explaining to do. They would definitely have some explaining to do. And why, as people, like, people work hard for years, for decades. Black folks have been yelling about being in positions of not being able to get bank loans, not being able to open up our own businesses, not being able to fund our own communities. And then you don't even want to address when someone can come to this country with very limited, if any, documentation of credit backgrounds, and they're allowing them to buy food trucks and the government's backing it, and they never did it. They don't do it for us. And you want me to respect your leadership, and it's happening under your leadership? I mean, you want a person that y'all just keep on laughing. Keep on laughing, keep on joking, and keep on bullshitting with these fake ass, fraud ass leaders. And they got y'all thinking that they got your back, and they heading away and paving the way for you and all that old shit. They don't. They don't. When you build an economic base for another group of people and you totally disregarding the black culture, the black business owners, and make it's still tough for us, and y'all been yelling this shit since the 60s and the 70s, and then these type of things happen where the floodgates open of immigration coming into this country, and you don't have a problem with this. And the reason why you don't, tell me why you don't have a problem with that. Now, I remember when my sister Tracy, came in and was telling me, oh, you know, they used to do that back in the day when they was opening up the wig stores. They was getting loans from the government and not giving loans to the black folks. So if that's the case, why don't you have them same vibes? Why you ain't vibing on that shit right now? Why ain't everybody saying that same thing right now? Why aren't you saying that these companies are over, the government is opening up programs to not even go through the SBA situation? They got direct lending for immigrants, chance, opportunity. And we've been yelling for an equal start point for decades. Explain it. Explain it. Explain why it's good for them, but not good for us. And the immigrants, this is why they try to make you believe immigration built this country. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Whoever convinced you of that is okay. Maybe they got you thinking that immigrants meaning we're all from somewhere else. So why would you give people that have less, even if your credit is a 570, it's better than someone that don't have credit at all? You can have a 570 or a 580 credit score. I think the lowest you can possibly be is 540. Damn it. You get 20, 30 points just putting your name on the application. You know what I'm saying? You can have a 570 credit score and be 35, 40 years old. And you've put more tax dollars into the system than anybody that just got here. You're more entitled to a small business loan than somebody that ain't never been here and contributed to the tax base at all. You're worth more of a risk than they are. I guess Vernon got the answer here. This is what he says. He says, I guess the Trump administration is just throwing out small business loans to black folks. If they are, then they are keeping it mighty quiet. What does that have to do with the administration giving loans to people other than us? Is that how we answer every derogatory? Is that how we answer everything? Is Trump, what Trump is doing? Come on, Vern. Come on, bro. That's the reason, right? Now we're going to talk about what Trump doing with black folks instead of talking about what's been done, period. That's the distraction. You don't have that's the answer, bro. The answer is, I guess they giving out big loans right now. What they stopped doing, if you want to call them a regime or administration, whatever you want to call them, they ended that bullshit. They ended that. That's more important is if that got dealt with. Now we got a line of fire. Now as black folks, we can turn around and say, whoa, don't ever tell us you're not capable of doing something like that because you did it. There's the proof right there. You okayed a loan for $25,000 for a truck for someone that didn't have any credit at all, had no established business records in the United States of America, and you've been denying us that forever. But you did it for someone else. Now that opens up federal lawsuits. Why don't you hear Al keeping it real ass sharp and talking about that? Because he don't want to fuck up the church's money. He ain't going to make us aware of nothing like that, because then that means he'd have to talk about it and fight about it. And then it's going to mess his money up. I can't educate my people to get money. I can't hold the government accountable. Shit, they going to fuck me up. You don't think the black community can stand on some of the abuse and the things that we have gone through over the years, and then have a group of people, whether it's Mexicans, whether it's Venezuelans, whether it's Ukrainians, whatever it may be? You don't think we have a leg to stand on to say we've been mistreated again? You've done more for them than you've done for us. No, your leaders got you fucking boycotting Target. And they can't even do that right. Fuck out of here. How is Target going to make us a better community? How do we economically, how is Target an advantage for us? If you don't go to Target, you're going to Walmart. If you don't go to Walmart, you're going to Myers. If you don't go to Myers, then you're going where? But nowhere on the list are you saying, if I don't go to any of those places, I'm going to go to a Black-owned company that's just like them. Where do we start saying, I'm not going to go to Walmart because I'm going to go to Wyatt's? I'm not going to go to Walmart's because I'm going to go to Vernon's. When do we start talking like that? Instead of substituting one thing, substituting one same conglomerate for the next conglomerate. Why aren't your leaders talking about that? Why aren't they putting us in winnable situations instead of just putting us on the bench on a winning? Explain that. They always just want you to be a warrior. That's it. They fight for you to be a warrior and they pretend to be a lieutenant of the fucking army. That's all they are. They don't fight for the abuse of the dollar that's going to other people. You got all this abuse that's going on and none of it. It's all on the backs of the policies of what Black was put in place because of how Black people were treated. And then other people come to this country and take advantage of it, driving in BMWs, Mercedes, and they just milking Medicaid and milking all these systems to be helping the poor. You out here getting $81,000 a person in New York City for homelessness. And the CEO, who happens to be a liberal, is making $800,000 a year. And you telling me that billionaires are the problem. Yeah, the millionaires got y'all thinking that the billionaires are the problem. We tricks, man. We tricks. We're absolutely tricks. You tricks to the majority. We tricks of being the majority of the trick game. Bottom line. Bottom line. They know who leads the community. They know that Black women lead the community. They know that. And that's pretty much who they go after. And for some odd reason, it's just hard for us Black men. And I have to say this, sorry, stepping on some toes. We're just not as strong as we used to be. We're just not as strong as we used to be. We don't lead the household. And when you don't lead the household, you generally don't have a job where you show me a strong Black man, he's probably very independent. He's probably the leader of his household, and he's probably the boss on his job somewhere. Yeah, he probably have a staff or he has a team on his job that he's the head of. Those are the people that are probably those are the people that we're probably missing. Those type of brothers. We just don't have the proper leadership in our communities anymore. And that's the bottom line. And the ones that pretend to be leaders are the ones that are getting paid the money. Those are the ones that y'all look up to and scared to burn the candle from the right end because they want to be liked. They don't care if they don't care nothing about that. Let me play my other one. This is another one of my favorite of this year. This one's a little bit more positive. All right. My brother, John Bryant. Let me see if I had that one up. Yeah, here we go. Check this one out. What's that? Hold on one second. Let me see some. Bentley. Let me do this. Let me hit the play here. And I'm gonna let you watch this video, but let me answer this one real fast. Wyatt Edwards said, Wyatt, I wish you could have called Kevin Aldridge and give your take on the 8 mil to music venue. That would be very interesting. Why? What was his take? What was his take? I'm curious to know. All right, let me play this video real fast if you guys don't mind. This is another one of my favorite videos from John Bryant. One of my favorite guys. I wish I would have had this guy in my life when I was a young man. Check it out.
I can't control how somebody feels about you, right? You can't control it either. I can't control who's in the White House. But we spend all, the current politics is basically you're experiencing the biggest reality TV show in the history of the world. And to quote my brother Charlemagne, we're all extras. And how many people get up every day and spend a third of their day obsessing, wasting your time, obsessing about somebody else's game, arguing, screaming at the TV set or screaming at your phone, talking mess about. Poor people talk about other people. Wealthy people talk about their ideas. Need to say that again?
Say it again, because somebody probably walked to the bathroom.
Poor people, surviving mindset, talk about other people. Wealthy people, thriving mindset, building mindset, talk about their ideas. What's a patent?
Just said that outside.
What is a patent? It's a monetized idea. I mentioned that earlier. You cannot create in noise. Even, you got this beautiful studio, but when you guys are doing your magic, like right now, you can hear a pin drop. It's no different than anything else. Quiet the noise. First thing you got to quiet is inside of yourself. So here's one for everybody. Slavery did a job on us. There's a difference between Black Americans, Black Caribbeans, and Black Africans, even though we all come from Africa, all of us. In fact, all of mankind comes from Africa. That's a different conversation. The difference is slavery lasted longer under a brutal commercial enterprise here. It destroyed our self-esteem. What's my point? If I don't like me, I'm not going to like you.
That's the violence.
If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. Real talk. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. Here's a big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm going to make your life a living hell.
Right.
Because whatever goes around, comes around. So now you take that self-esteem. So now I've got high confidence because I was born and raised in the biggest economy in the world, the United States of America. So I've got high confidence because I'm competent. What did I say? When the rules are published and the playing field is level,
that's right,
we kill it. So we've gone from slavery, Jim Crow, sharecropping, all that indignity, and somehow we've risen against all odds. And look what you built here. From people literally pushing against you, still you rise. So if we say Black people have mastered creativity, culture, and cool. Mainstream folks have mastered capitalism, commerce, and economic community. 6,000 years. So we say something's cool, it's cool in Tibet. If we say it's cool in North Korea. If we say it's a dud, it's dud in Russia. But we've rocked the mic, we don't own it. We play on the stage, but we don't own Live Nation or whatever the situation is. So we've been rearranging the deck chairs and the type, going back to the original. So our mind is messed up because our self-esteem is messed up. Do you know that 76% of all luxury goods are bought by poor people?
Yeah.
Say that again. By the way, that's a Rolex. By the way, this is my get out of. If everything goes south, that's $25,000, right? So this is, it's a nice watch, but it's an investment, right? But so I like nice things. I like Louis Vuitton or Tume or whatever the thing is, right? But that's my third budget. That's my flossing budget. There's a living budget, an investment budget, and a do as I like budget, right? So I'm not telling people not to go get nice things. I'm saying 76% of all luxury goods in the world are bought by poor and struggling people. That's target marketing. So when you see the line around the corner at Louis Vuitton, look who's in the line. It's us. I'm not telling you not to go to Louis Vuitton, sir. I'm just telling you, it's literally right in front of you. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. We have got to realign our priorities, and the problem is self-esteem. We have high confidence because we're competent, but we have low self-esteem because we never healed from all this trauma. And a lot of us distract ourselves with the INGs. shopping, drugging, drinking, traveling, texting, sexting, whatever it is, not dealing, because we're not doing the one ing that matters, healing.
Are you serious?
I left that right there because not every one of us can say that. Like if I got on my platform and I made those comments, you would hate me. Some of you hate me for telling those same truths. And it's always, well, maybe it's his delivery. Maybe he's arrogant. Maybe because you know me. Or maybe because you know people that know me, and that's why it's not acceptable to come from me. So I'll let John Bryant tell you what I've been saying for 6 years. I've never said that we have low self-esteem. I've never said that. I've hinted to it. I've told you what it is. You know, my best friends in the world have been the friends that are very arrogant. And when I say arrogant, I mean have the arrogance to tell me the truth. My best friend in the world was Sean Coleman, and that motherfucker would tell me what's on his mind about me. You feel me? Whether it was true or not, but it's on your mind. You've known me since the sandbox. We go at it. Everything about you ain't perfect. Everything about me ain't perfect. We made each other better. But for some odd reason, we got this thing in our community, once again, like John Bryant will say, our self-esteem. And what that is this, is what I go back to telling us about the being vulnerable amongst one another. That's that self-esteem thing too. I cannot allow somebody to see my guard down type of stance. I am not going to let, I'm not going to let Wyatt be right about this because he's arrogant enough. Or, you know, see, he don't see things the way, whatever your reason is to disagree with it, it ain't always because of the point at hand. Sometimes you just want to be disagreeing. You just want to disagree with me. Even though you deep down inside know it's right, it just won't be the way you want to hear it or the way you want it to be said. All I ask you is this. If I'm wrong, I can be wrong. Try it my way one time. Try it once. You've been trying it your way for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if my mother came and said, if my mother, and I'm stuck on that way. And then when I turned 25 years old, I noticed that way is probably not going to work for me. Okay. Probably not going to work because I've tried it for the first 5 years of my adulthood. I got to do something different. I got to try it a different way. Do I just be defiant and not try to be a better person by doing something the way that I see, doing it the opposite of how I've been taught? Should I just do it the way that my mother taught me because that was the rule in the house? That's the way I have to do it. And now that I'm a grown man, I should just follow the way that my mother taught me? No. No. Sometimes we got to do things different. And different means change, right? Sometimes change is hard. Sometimes change is one of the most hardest things you'll ever face. And sometimes change means being vulnerable. Change means, it doesn't mean that you can't be a man, fellas. It don't mean that we can't keep our chest stuck out. And it don't mean that we can't be, the king of the castle. But sometimes we have to just be more vulnerable because it allows us to learn more. I mean, if you're just going to be stubborn, that's not being a king. A lot of kings had consultants and people around them to teach them and tell them about the things that they didn't know. I mean, kings don't know how to farm. So they would put consultants and advisors around them And it had to be tough to be a king and be told something by a peasant, a farmer. Gonna tell me, but farmers could teach a king a whole lot. You know, when we should invest more into our crops, when it should start, when it should stop, when we should hold a portion of our crops and not sell it to another, area like another kingdom or somebody. They used to trade off, goods and services back in the days. And, kings had to let their guard down and be a little vulnerable to the people that understood that this summer might not be a good summer. It might be a cold summer. So we may not be able to grow corn this year, king, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It might be tough this year. This is the year of the hurricanes. So we might want to hold on to our grain a little longer. I don't know. John Bryant is one of my favorite because he can say some things. He can get away with saying some things that a lot of us can't. And when you listen to somebody through clips, edited clips, I think it's a little stronger. It's a stronger approach. It's probably, it being edited alone. You don't know the lead up to the point that's being said. You don't know what led up to it, but you get the information, and that information is it's bottled up and it's right there for you right there. It's almost like if I've been talking for 45 minutes about something and then start saying exactly what he said, you can take it totally out of context. All right. So what was the question about? It was somebody that said something about they wish. Who was that? Was that you, Vernon, about the $8 million thing? What is it? The music center? What was the opinion? You said you wish we could had a dialect on it. What was the opinion? Let me read this right here. Sierra said, I hope in the upcoming year, Wyatt, you begin to understand that folks tune in to hear your opinion. Sometimes you make judgments about how we receive your thoughts without actually knowing how your audience feels. See, Sierra, like, here's what I have to admit to on that. Sierra, I get DMs and messages, and I get a lot of opinions about things that I've said that you're not privileged of seeing. So when I make a statement, it's not a blanket statement. When I make a comment about what y'all don't understand, it's not for those that do understand, and it's not for those that may feel different. I mean, that it's not for everybody. I'm talking to people that don't even sometimes acknowledge that they're not even talking on here. They don't leave messages. They're not in the comments. Think about it. If you look at how many people are on the program right now, there's usually regular names: Vernon, Roz, LaDonna. Let's go through a few. Mama Birch, Roz, Catherine, Brenda Early, Trennis, Vernon. You see, Edward. These are normal. Princess Flower. These Sierra, Jerica, David Herring. These are regular names. Have you seen? What about the 300 or 400 or 500 other people that watch the show who don't engage in the show, who leave the messages on my voice, on my in my DM, or who don't engage on the Wyatt Live messenger group? What about those people? Have you thought one time, Alethea, she's here. Have you thought one time that some of those comments that are making are follow-up comments to some of the things that they say on the Jenny is here. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. AK-47 is here. See, when I start opening up, my bad. There's a lot of people on here that don't engage. Only 10%. Think about it. Let's do the math. Let's just do the numbers here. The people that we see on here on a regular basis who engage and say, hey, y'all, what's up, family, and all that. There's a, we have our regular folks that you see that engage and tap in and say something like, hey, how y'all doing today? But what about the other 400 or 500 people? What do you think they doing? I know they looking like this. They watching like this. I can't let them see. I can't let it. And DH, my bad, bro. David Herring here. He said you started a roll call. My bad, bro. Like at the skating rink, because I'm on shit. Started a roll call. Yes, you do get in trouble for a few. Here's the thing. And I hated that type of stuff, Sierra. I hate it. You know, I'm from the sports world. I hate it when my guys on my team couldn't hit a free throw and then we all had to run. The whole team paid for somebody else's. Y'all said something the other day. Who was that? Said Twin started something. My comment wasn't even towards Twin. When I made that comment, I made a post. I said, I wish people who do ghetto, who say ghetto is ignorant and foul and all that. I wish y'all stop calling people ghetto. That don't represent me. I'm from the ghetto. That's offensive to some of us. Stop calling like dumb shit that people do and all this bad language and all this stuff and foul out here shooting and all. Stop calling that shit ghetto. Some of us are actually from the ghetto and we don't like that. And I seen some of y'all make the comment under the post who said, we got in trouble because of what Twin said. It didn't have nothing to do with Twin. I've raised my children from the cradle, telling them we don't use the N-word, and we certainly don't say that something that's out here ridiculous and ignorant and nasty or ratchet is ghetto. My kids don't call people ghetto. They don't use that term. They daddy from the ghetto. They daddy don't act like that. See what I'm saying? So all I'm saying to you guys is this. When I make a statement, it's not a blanket statement. It's usually covering certain people who make comments and say things away from the show. Sometimes I know they watching. You don't know what I say unless you're watching. You know what I'm saying? For the family members that are here that always engage and kind of slide a comment in here and there and blah, blah, blah. We already know y'all here, we make comments and it is what it is. But this is 10%. This is 10% of the audience that engaged. Where do you think the other 90 doing? Just sitting back listening. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. When I listened to the radio when I was a younger dude, when I listened to talk radio, whether it was sports radio or politics or whatever, city affairs or whatever was going on, I never called in. I just listened all the time. I was just a listener. I didn't engage in anybody. Nobody knew my name. Never did any of that. Never called in. I was just a listener. Just a listener. So it's not a blanket statement over the whole audience. Jerica said, wait, Wyatt, you call Cincinnatians who support leaders are dumb, MFs, stupid, ignorant, etc. When did I say that? What? Wait, Wyatt, let me read it slow. Maybe it just went over my head. Wait, Wyatt, you call Cincinnatians who support leaders are dumb, MFs, stupid, ignorant, etc. Really? Really? I called the people that support the leadership in Cincinnati dumb? Or are you saying people in the comment say that? I call them, oh, ignorant is a word that I would use. Yeah, ignorance is a word of not knowing, right? It's unknowledgeable. So if you're willing to follow somebody that has information, real information, and they're not sharing it with you, and they're teaching you something outside of the real information, you're ignorant for that. You're ignorant to follow leaders that would misguide you. You're ignorant. You don't know better. I will stand on that. I'll stand on that. Now, somebody else tell me that, yeah, I guess so. I think you have selective hearing, Jericho. I think you hear what you want to hear so you can make the type of comments that you make, to be honest with you. But I've never called somebody that follows Cincinnati leadership a dumb motherfucker. I ain't never done that. I tell you what you do. Why don't you pull it up? Once again, it'll be crickets on that too. I'm still waiting for a couple other things. So what was the comment that was made? Was it Vernon? Help me out, Vernon. Help me explain to me what it was that was said, because I'm open for a great debate. It doesn't have to be a debate. I'm open for a conversation about the $8 million. I'm open for a debate to that. Look, I don't know if it was misunderstood what I said yesterday, but I think if you have any sense of economics, I believe that it is a duty of your city council and the leadership of your city. They have to reinvest in the city. They have to spend money in the city. How else do you get out of deficits? How else do you make your city vibrant? The city of Cincinnati had a store downtown called Saks Fifth Avenue. It was there for years. They weren't making money. But when the store closed, they lost a tax base. See, here's the thing. Here go the crazy thing. And then I'll get to the point of the Saks Fifth Avenue. If Saks Fifth Avenue sat in Cincinnati for 5 years, I'm going to use this for argument's sake. Saks Fifth Avenue sat in Cincinnati for 5 years and didn't make a dime. The city probably made more money off of Saks Fifth Avenue than Saks Fifth Avenue made on themselves. Because regardless of how they pay their bills at Saks Fifth Avenue, the one bill they definitely have to pay is a tax bill. The other bill that they pay are their employees, their staff. Those staff members pay income tax. So regardless of what the bottom line was for Saks Fifth Avenue, the city of Cincinnati made money off of Saks Fifth Avenue, even when they were in the red or whatever. See what I'm saying? That's an investment. Saks Fifth Avenue was paying maybe $1 rent, had tax abatements of the property or whatever, but the income tax and all the other stuff that come along with the tax base, that comes to the city. All I'm saying is, and I'll stand on this, I'm in support of the city being proactive of bringing in a tax base. $8 million is a lot of money, but it's not $8 million is not a large investment for a metropolitan city. It's not a large investment that's going to have a major tax. I mean, they're going to make that money back. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. Let me get this camera right. There we go. It's that Jedi joint, right? I just don't understand. I don't understand people that may be against it. To be against that, it doesn't make any sense to me. It don't make it bad. It's just, what I'm saying to you is this. For those that say they spent $8 million, but we have all this homelessness going on, I understand your argument. But at the same time, who do you look at when you say, okay, you spent $8 million? Are you suggesting that they're not spending any money on homelessness in Cincinnati? Are you suggesting that they're not spending any money on affordable housing and things of that nature in the city of Cincinnati? I don't think that. Of course they spending money, but because they make investment, how much money does affordable housing make the city? How much money does the programs make the city? You can't continuously have, I'm not even going to say it because it doesn't, to say invest in a liability, that's oxymoron. That doesn't make any sense. The city is under obligation. They have to make investments in order for the city to function. You have to not just put money into the people. You have to put money into a tax base, something that's going to generate and create tax revenue for the city to be able to do the things they need to do. You can't just sit back and spend all your money or just focus on affordable housing or whatever you want to call it. That's not governing. You can't do that. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here, y'all. I got a couple more minutes. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's Friday. I ain't got no job. Oh, that's right. I'm retired. What up, Wyatt?
What's up, Drop Sky 52? How you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I swear, Wyatt, because of the tournament and me being retired, I thought today was Saturday.
Well, them games coming on weird times, aren't they?
Huh?
I say the games are coming on at weird times.
Well, yeah, it started this morning, but you know, I'm retired, Wyatt, and sometimes my days run together. But I just came back from, you know, getting my walk in, and I said, oh, Wyatt on Saturday. And then I started listening, and I'm like, oh, today is Friday. And congratulations on your 6-year anniversary. Did I get the years right?
Yes, you did.
Yep, and I guess I'm a day one, I guess.
Yeah,
because I've been following you for a while, ever since Nathan Ivey show folded. I've been following you, and I gotta give you credit, man. Your show has grown. You have grown. Your Wyatt Live family has grown. Everything is going in the right direction.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that the family has grown. We have more people. Not everybody.
Man, stop being so damn humble.
That's not, no, bro. That was a shot. Shots fired. That was shots.
Shots fired.
I said not everybody is family. I said we got viewers and listeners in this, but not everybody family, bro.
No, of course not, because you're controversial with your commentary. Yeah, you're going to draw people in just to see who this ninja is that's talking like he black, not Democrat. Because that, when people like you speak, Wyatt, on the platform that you have, black people gonna perk up and listen.
I don't know about that.
Because it is rare in 2026, right? Wyatt, the evolution began about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the black, not Democrat voices, people who are not speaking that same Democrat plantation line.
Right, I know. But you got enough co-signers.
You what?
They got enough co-signers. They got enough infiltrators. They got enough.
Of course,
agents.
Bro. I'm telling you, it's a huge mountain that's being climbed right now. And voices like you are far from the peak. Okay, but y'all gonna keep climbing because y'all got people behind y'all that's younger, more energetic, and more influence. And the trend is starting, Wyatt. That's all. It's starting. Well, and again, bro, I hope you have many, many more years of this Wyatt Live show.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Now, back to Miss Jerica Van, who accused you of calling Cincinnati citizens, people who are involved in the political process in the city, calling them dumb and stupid or something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm siding with Jerica, but I will say, Wyatt, in the past, you have pointed out Cincinnati voters who continue to put in the same old Democrat leadership over and over and expecting different results.
Of course. I never denied that. I just ain't called them stupid motherfuckers like I
well, sometimes you get heated and you go off because it's unbelievable how people who supposedly are involved and connected with how things work continue to put the same people back in.
No, let me say this, Drop. I promise I'll let you finish the mic. You know, you're right. I do go off. Let me tell you why I go off sometimes. I go off on minds like this, okay? And you can appreciate this, and I'm glad you called. I go off when I hear people bitching and complaining about gas right now, but those are the same ones that never said anything when it went down to $2.35. They never said, oh my God, gas is all the way down to $2.35. Now they bitching and complaining about gas being back where it was when it was high under Biden. They didn't when I was sitting here like, damn, bro, I got gas today. When you've been here when I would complain about gas and groceries, it was almost like I was going in on Biden. But when it went down under the new administration, it went down and it was crickets. Nobody said anything. Now that it's going back up, now I even heard a dude today say now the gas went up to $5. And I know you in LA, so it is $5 out there, but that's because of y'all tax. It's because of y'all tax structure by your governor. That's what that is. Yes. Y'all got $2 a gallon worth of fucking taxes, and don't nobody really explain it that way, of course, because they don't really know. But the truth of the matter is, Now that I hear people bitching and complaining that gas is $3.69 and $3.75 again, they're bitching. Those are the same ones that didn't bitch and complain when it was $3.75 and they didn't even know the reason. Now,
well, yes, Wyatt, they were.
Who?
People were bitching and complaining.
What?
Under Biden, yes.
Who?
You see, you're talking about the media, the talking heads,
No,
and the pundits.
I'm talking about the people who have to even exaggerate when it's 365, 375 in their city right now, and they have to say, and these people with microphones in their mouth, they got microphones in their mouth,
right.
And they say, now you got this buyer's remorse because gas $5. It ain't nowhere near $5 where they live. You see what I'm saying?
No.
It ain't nowhere near $5. The only place it's $5 is out in California because y'all got $2 worth of freaking taxes on y'all gas.
Yeah, it ain't quite $2. It's around about $1.30 or $1.40 higher.
Yeah, tax reasons.
Yeah, because right now, when I was walking, I passed by a Shell gas station, and it's at $5.89.
Hey, let me ask you something, Draw.
For regular.
Let me ask you something. You might know the answer to this. I had a conversation yesterday about the tax. Excuse me, not the tax. You just had me done tax. The homeless population in California where you live is astronomical. Do you have any idea, or have you seen any publication of what your state is spending per person? How much they're applying towards homelessness in your state? I know y'all spend more than anybody, but what does that equate to one person? Because in New York right now, the number per person in the homeless campaign is $81,000 per person. That's what they're averaging to spend. Do you know what it is in California per person?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea because a bulk of the homelessness in California is in the major cities, because you don't see it where I live. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because the people that run this city, they don't let it get to the point where people building tent cities and living under overpasses. They don't let it happen. But in LA, because of their policies, they let these things just get out of control. And then people from other parts of the country are coming to California because the benefits are higher, the weather is nice, and again, the policies tend to go in their favor for somebody who's not working and wants to survive off the government, the government dole. So, but I couldn't tell you, but whatever it is nationwide, just add about another 10% to the California price, because it's bad.
It's more than that. It would be more than 10%.
Yeah, because Gavin Newsom, he passed some kind of initiative, and I think it was like $30 billion supposedly for homelessness.
Yeah, see, there they go.
And of course, they blew all the money. So, but again, for all the people out there who voted in the 2024 election or they didn't vote, and they filed income taxes right now, I guarantee you that they're pretty happy with the return they got with the policies that were passed by the Trump administration in the big, beautiful bill.
You'll never hear about it, bro. It's just like when they were paying $1.50 less on gas every day. You only hear people who complain. The same people that complain every day. How often I'm not saying they don't say anything positive, but how often do you hear a complainer speaking positive? You know the answer. Come on.
Yeah, that's a rhetorical question, right. But again, when you're a citizen, okay, and you rely on government assistance in whatever form, yeah, it's gonna piss you off because you ain't got that money. You're relying on them to give you what they think you need. But people who are middle class, upper middle class, they got a little money. They can make these adjustments and get through these periods of political craziness. Okay, but if you're in a city like Cincinnati, where over the last 10 years, it's just been a freaking mess, people getting indicted, misappropriation of funds, it's just a mess.
Right.
So again, when you're commentating, you're trying to get people to see why these things are happening. And if you try a different way, maybe things will change. But bro, it's a hard task at hand.
Exactly. How do you convince someone that they're wrong other than providing evidence? I would think that if you can't provide
and
evidence,
even still, they may not admit it.
I know, but let me start from the beginning. How do you convince someone that they're wrong without me or us providing evidence? And then it becomes just an opinion, right?
Right.
But in most cases, if you can provide evidence that they're wrong, then you're still the enemy. It doesn't matter. Someone's believed in for all these years that it's just not working. The evidence written on the wall is not enough. But if you say it and you tell it and give examples and show how and this and this and this and that, it's still not enough, bro. Some people will never be satisfied until it either hits them a little bit harder or let me give you a perfect example, because I know you know more about this than I do. So I'll open up the door. Everybody's bitching and complaining about this war over in Iran. Show me a president from either party, Democrat and Republican, that the president threatened Iran and said, don't do this, don't do that, or we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And none of them did it. And Trump is the only one that did it. None of them said anything when Hillary or any of them was threatening to go over to Iran and do exactly what's being done right now. So tell me an administration that didn't have a problem with Iran.
You're right. It's a lot of them that did have a problem.
And there's video.
Don't forget that the Obama administration carried out something similar to this when he took out Gaddafi, him and Hillary. Again, Wyatt, they will never admit to you that you're right and they're wrong. It's kind of like, here's the perfect analogy, right? You know how if you got a family member that's on drugs and you have an intervention, right?
Right.
You're pointing out all these things that are happening, that are going to happen, how they're affecting the family, but still they get up and run out. Because until they see the problem and want to fix it, an intervention you tell not gonna matter. It's just not going to matter. So when you put it in political terms, when somebody may have had a certain view at a younger age, then they grow up, they have a family or they run a household, then they start to see, damn it, Wyatt was right. I need to change the way I see politics and how these politicians affect my bottom line as a head of a household or the head of a family.
Well, I agree totally with that. Now, here's the other thing. We sit back. I think, quite honestly, the problem that we run into is we keep our head in the sand on a lot of things. And what I mean by that is we're allowed to say things. Everybody has freedom of speech, and I don't have a problem with that. But here's what I have a problem with. When we try to act like that the problems that we have in our culture, in our community, aren't really the problem that we have. It's part of the fuel of what's wrong with us overall, even those that don't affect directly. Like it doesn't affect me directly, Drop, if your kid is doing bad in high school or bad in school. It doesn't affect me directly, but overall I care, because my kids may be doing good. I want your kids to do good so they won't fall under the same restraints or fall under the same pressures or the things that other kids fall under when they don't have certain things to come to them, right? So what we do is we have this ignorance of ourselves where we ignore what's going on with the kids in our community that's shooting and doing this and this and that. And we try to act like it's only a small percentage and it's not defining all of us. But that doesn't fix the problem by saying it's only a small percentage of us. What fixes the problem is collectively, overall, we all should be trying to fix that problem. You see what I'm saying? Not keeping our head in the sand saying, oh, it's only a small portion of us, or getting mad when we say things like black on black crime. Nobody that's black should be mad when the statement black on black crime says something, because it's really just it's us looking out for one another. It's us holding self-accountability amongst the people. I mean, I just see it a little bit different, bro. I mean, I don't know why it seems like we criticize the truth tellers or the people that really want to make the change, and the ones that really don't, I think they're okay. They're content with how it is as long as it don't affect them. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree 100%. 100%. But when you have the platform you have, and so many thousands of people listen to you, it's almost like you just have to understand that your focus is reach one, I can teach one, because it's degrees of separation. Okay, you ain't gonna convince everybody at the same time. It just ain't gonna happen. You'll never have 100% consensus. Okay, that's why your show is so successful as it is. All right, and like you said earlier, people aren't gonna call in and voice their object, but they can be anonymous. They can go in the chat and write all kind of garbage. But guess what? Other people in the chat go pick up on it without knowing exactly what you said or when you said it or how you said it. But that's just part of what you do, and you're getting better at it. You're getting better, understanding that ain't nobody gonna call you or write the chat, Wyatt, you 100% right. I was a dumbass for believing that Democrats or politicians gonna do X, Y, and Z for me. It ain't gonna happen, bro.
I went on a 2-year campaign on this show about the leadership, right? And bro, they fired the police chief about what I was talking about for 2 years, and not one person has said anything about how, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I was frames ahead of the situation. And that's not just that. That's just one that I can think of. See, when I tell people to tell me what I said that was derogatory or mean, they got to, oh, well, I'll get back to you on that. But when I tell you what I said, I can give you an example. I can pull up a clip. I can show you exactly what I was talking about and how it went wrong and where it was going and how you were talking bad about me when I brought it to the table and said, this is how it's developing. People don't like people to be right when they know that it affects how they've been thinking their whole life. They don't want you to be right, Drop. Then you say shit what you say. They don't want you to be right, because it's like this, bro.
It's not that they don't want you to be right. They don't want to admit that they're wrong.
I got it.
That's a huge difference.
I'm gonna respect my elder right there, because that sounds more realistic, Drop. I've probably been wording that my whole life the wrong way. It's not that they don't want me to be right or you to be right. They just don't want to be wrong. And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I've learned something today. That's exactly how I'm gonna start taking that. I've always thought that, well, you know, it's a little bit different when you have your opinion right here. Hold on. A dude on YouTube says, "Are you ever wrong?" Now, how about that? Because I've been reading I've been reading your little ass comments.
That's right. Good answer, Wyatt.
He said, so you want credit for firing the police chief? See, that's a motherfucker ain't been here but about 15 minutes. He don't even know.
Yeah, and I guarantee you he won't pick up the phone and call.
Nah, he probably won't.
I guarantee you.
All good. I don't want credit for the police chief getting fired. It has not that's somebody that don't even know what my stance was on the police chief, but yet they want to write the shit in all capitals and they just want to overtalk and be heard and seen in the chat. And that's fine. I never wanted the police chief to be fired, but the firing of the police chief explains the entire situation of what was going on with your leadership, if you really was here to understand what's going on.
Well, see, Wyatt, I kind of remember that when she got hired, you were talking about the person that the person that got fired, and the white lady came in as a new chief.
Yeah,
I remember you I don't remember exactly what you were saying, but you were pointing out to people that the guy who got fired, that the replacement would be exactly someone just like her. And she wasn't gonna last long. And she's been there, what, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Right. And she had the incident with her gun, then
no, that was someone else. That was the sheriff whose gun was stolen.
Okay. Okay.
But my thing is this: I pay attention to what they say in open forums. I pay attention to what the police chiefs. I pay attention what leadership back. I pay attention to how leadership speak to the audience. I know if they're influenced or if they yes man or yes women. I know who they are just by what they stand on. You can tell. I mean, I'm not a genius for that. Anybody and everybody can. When you don't, like, Police Chief Thiegy, who got fired, wanted to say so badly, I could damn near read her mind. She wanted to say so badly, y'all need to get y'all motherfucking kids. She wanted to say so badly, they're forcing me to do this. She wanted to say so bad. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah. She wanted to say so bad. I don't really rock like this, but I'm the chief of police and I get paid and I can put this on my resume and I only have a year and a half left before I retire. She wanted to say all that shit out loud. I promise you. Listen, I bumped heads with her down at the courthouse and I interviewed her, Drop. It was an unexpected thing, right? And the questions that I asked her, I already knew where she was in her mind. And when I had to start off softly, okay, I had to just kind of ask little, you know, filler questions and blah, blah, blah. I had to shake my head yes when I was really saying no. I had to do that. However, when I asked the major question of when are you guys going to get together with the prosecutor's office, her being the chief of police, getting with the prosecutor's office, and the judges and city council all get together and y'all look at what the real problem is amongst this revolving door in our judicial system. When are you guys all going to sit down and have a conversation on how to fix this? That's when she walked away. She didn't have time at that point because I had already knew what the real issue is. And the leadership, a real leadership can always tell here, they got more information than most people. Okay. When it comes down to who did the shooting, what the potential reason of why they were out there shooting, why a person got shot 32 times if they were out already on criminal pending matters. They have all that information. All right. They know it. I can get the information. In some cases, I do have that information, right? I just don't bring it on the air. That all being said, when you start asking questions like that, you have to track back your thinking and say, the mayor just said there ain't no gangs in Cincinnati. The mayor just said that crime is down in Cincinnati. But yet the police chief is saying something different, but not necessarily saying something different. But we have to keep watching them in press conferences talking about 11-year-olds getting shot and guys getting shot down at the Bengals game, 32 shots to the body after the game. They have to cover that in the media press. And it's like, how do you dare to stand in front of people and tell them that crime is down and it's not that bad and it's safe and this and this and that? How do you cover that? And eventually somebody was going to have to take the fall for the lies that were blatantly being told in people's face. They was playing with us in our face. Somebody had to take the fall. And I knew it was going to be the police chief. I knew it was going to be the police chief because everybody else is a sensitive fire. If you hold anybody else accountable, you would have to say, well, we voted for that person. So that means your vote meant some trash. See, I mean, honestly, it means your vote was trash, right? Now watch this. Watch the comments. Speaking of votes being trash, let's refocus this and talk about everybody's trash ass vote for Trump. See, that's where to go. We can't talk about local. You can't talk about what can affect you more than anything, which is local, your local voting. So once they discovered where the dysfunction was coming from, well, now we got to hold somebody accountable, and that will be the police chief, because the police chief is the reason why people are out here shooting one another. That's dumb as hell. The police chief don't have nothing to do with how you
see. There you go, calling people dumb.
No, I didn't. I said that's dumb as hell. There you go. Y'all got that.
But see, that's how people take your shit out of context.
That's okay. I don't have time to be dealing with taking out of context ass people. Okay. I don't have time for that. They can do what they want to do, bro. When I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna be in the same crib, living the same life. If all I can do is get the information.
Hey, Wyatt, when is the next Cincinnati election for either mayor or city council or something like that?
Bro, I don't know when they start. You can always tell when the black churches start getting full of white folks.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a prediction because I know you know, and I know people in the chat know. Shout out to the chat, especially Vernon Jordan. I like that brother.
I do too.
Yeah, he keep it real. He keep it straight. He keep it straight down the freaking middle, and he keep it real.
He don't know shit, But I like him. I was saying that because actually he one of my favorites.
Okay, let me finish what I was saying. Okay, then I'm gonna go. Okay,
that's my guy though.
Do you think that there are members of the city council, from the mayor's office, from the chief's office, who are aware of your show and your commentary?
Why wouldn't they be? I'm just not.
Okay, all right. Okay, so here's my prediction. The next election, you're gonna have politicians reaching out to your show.
Nah.
See, you say that. Nah. Just remember, Drop Squad 52 made that prediction on Friday, March 20th, 2026.
Well,
because you had some a couple of years ago.
Because
I remember Campaign Kelly Prather was on your show.
Yeah,
somebody else was on your show.
I'll be honest right now. There's a race gonna be coming up here in May or something like that, and there's some people that's been reached out. I just don't really do the politic thing.
I told you.
But that's nothing new. They've been reaching out.
But no, okay, so here's my question. Why do you think they're reaching out to you?
Well, maybe because I'm cheap.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't charge for stuff like that. And
that ain't why.
Okay.
They got money to pay for appearances.
Well,
okay, so ask the people in the chat, and then I'm gonna hang up. Ask them. Why would a politician reach out to appear on the Wyatt Live show?
Why would they?
Okay.
Why would they?
Yes. Why? What would be the reason for them to go on your show?
Yeah. Well,
why would they reach out to you to be on your platform?
Well, I don't think they would like that, but I will say this.
Well, you said they already have.
Yeah. I'm thinking city.
And I've witnessed some on your show. That's why I brought up Campaign Kelly Prather.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about like city council people probably would. Like there were people that I'm cool with that was running for city council that I didn't have come on the show and stuff like that. Like I'm cool with them and they were running and I really wanted them to win, to be honest with you. But, we kind of came up with I don't really do that type of stuff on my show and blah, blah, blah. I don't really do that because number one, like you or hate you, it's not going over here. It's not going to be a celebrity all-star softball game. It's not going to be that. I don't play that politician celebrity and then serve up a softball game. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make it a softball question situation. It's just not my makeup. So it's just like Emmanuel Livingston. Him and I had conversations off the air. Like one of the reasons that he did not have a lot of guests on his show is because he wasn't really one of them he wasn't really one of them dudes that would do softball interviews. You see what I'm saying? He would really ask questions that would put people on the hot seat sometime. And a lot of those people, they might try to act like they cool with a hot question. But the truth of the matter is, bro, they really not. They're really not. They know what hot question coming at them. And they know, but they know who they can talk to and who they can't talk to. I brought up Dr. Umar Johnson today. I had him on the show. You see what I'm saying? I had them on and I talked to him and I had to do he pre-screened me before we had a conversation. You see what I'm saying? So
yes, because see the reason why is because of your audience. That's why any politician goes on any show. It's because of the listeners, it's the audience. That's who they're trying to connect with. It's not necessarily the host, but they want to make sure that the host ain't gonna ambush them with some crazy ass questions and stuff. But
I agree
because shout out to Vernon for putting the election cycle coming up. In 2027, it's going to be some young candidate out there who maybe or may not has heard your type of commentary or people like you, and they're going to think, I got a shot. Because the people who listen to the Wyatt Live show and people who listen to these other platforms, they're the voters. They're the ones who are being woken up by this commentary on this show. So a young up-and-coming person in the community who thinks that they got the right slogans, the right platform to get these younger people to vote in a different way, they'll choose a show like you to go on to try to get more voters, more eyeballs, more ears listening to them instead of these traditional recycled politician throughout the Cincinnati area.
I understand that, but I think that there's a level of here's the other thing. There's a level of affiliation too, Drop. There's some people that don't there's a lot of people that watch this program that pretend that they don't. Okay. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want that guilty by association thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't want people to know that they're here and they support it. I had somebody, it was one time I was watching E! Show. Matter of fact, I was engaged in Emmanuel Livingston's show where I was in the chat. Okay. Cause I had time, this was something that like when his show came on at a certain time, I was able to watch it live. When he moved the time, I couldn't watch it live anymore. But when he had it at a certain time, I was watching it live. Let me tell you, I was getting so much hate in his live. It was crazy. I couldn't even write a comment the way I want to write a comment without somebody making without it being a problem with how I write my comments. And I'm like, why would you have a problem? Okay, have a problem with what I said. Maybe have a problem with how I said it. But you having a problem with how I wrote the comment in the comment section, that show you how to shit. That's why I don't engage with people because some people really just want to argue. They want to tongue wrestle. They really just want to fight. And I don't be wanting to do shit like that, bro. That's why I created my own. That's my whole philosophy. I am not, if I don't want to do things your way or see things your way, or if I don't want to wait in line for an hour and a half to get 30 seconds to say my mind, and then you kill me once I get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Bro.
Hey, I know you, bro. I went through it. I know what it's like.
That's why you start your own stuff. I never be out here bitching and complaining because a restaurant wouldn't let me come in and eat their food. I ain't never gonna do no shit like I go somewhere and fix me a bologna sandwich before I cry and bitch about somebody that treat me so bad. They treat me so bad when I get in there. It's cause I'm black. Man, I ain't spending money nowhere I'm disrespected. You feel me? I don't feel more special for going in, drinking out of a white water. I get that. I don't need your swimming pool. Damn it. I'm going to save my money and get my own swimming pool. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all these soft ass mugs, bro. They soft.
Hey, Wyatt, before I go, man, shout out to the person in the chat. I'm annoyed. 584. He's on YouTube,
bro.
Right?
I already seen, bro. He actually trolling. He trolling.
No, that's what I was gonna say. He's on YouTube, so that's an indication right there.
Right.
But again, your show is growing. You have reach, and just keep doing what you're doing. The other day, I saw you put a short on YouTube. I'm like, go ahead, Wyatt. So, bro, use ChatGPT, use your AI tools to go through. They can go through your whole show and pull out all kind of shorts for you.
I'm gonna do a short on this show.
Work done, everything.
I'm gonna do a short on this show, okay? I'll do a short on this one, so look out for it. I'm sure that'll break down some of the things that you and I talked about today. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe you can share it on your platform if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem. I shared the one I saw on YouTube. I threw it on X.
Yeah. Hey, let me read one of my favorite.
It's all good, bro.
Let me read.
But anyway,
drop. Let me read one of my favorite people on here. Let me read this comment real fast because it's Tanika and it's fairly long. She said, "If this was my platform, I wouldn't care about the haters. I would just do my thing, whether people like it or not. I'm okay if people don't agree with me. Makes the world go round. I don't care. Do you, Tanika? Come on, sis. Do you really think I don't care about the people that don't agree with me? See, the people that don't agree have their way of thinking, and that's fine. I'm never mad at somebody that disagrees. I'm mad at people who disagree a certain kind of way. Don't that make sense? Like if somebody disagree with you, Tanika, like I could say, Tanika, I love that pineapple upside down cake, but that chocolate cake, I don't really rock with that one. That don't make you mad, does it? I mean, it don't make you mad that they don't like the chocolate, but you do have a little way. Now, if they say it that way, you're not upset. But if they trash the chocolate cake, now you got to be like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. You might not like it, but it ain't got to be all that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to say all that shit. Why?
But hey, but see again, shout out to Tanika. Shout out to Tanika.
Yeah,
but Tanika, Tanika, I ain't gonna say she don't understand how these type of platforms work, but you can't have a platform and not respond to haters, lovers, or whoever.
And like
you have to.
Like Jericho just
and
said,
haters are like a virus.
Hold on, bro.
Haters are like, huh?
Hold on. Like Jericho just said, yes, you do. She really think I care, Drop. She don't understand it's the response. Don't think that somebody mad because somebody return a serve. If Venus Williams hit the ball and it's 101 miles an hour at my ass, I'm going to try to knock it back at her ass at 115. That's just how it works. Don't get mad at the person that returned the serve and then think they out of body. They only answering some shit that you was talking about. I mean, don't it make sense?
It makes sense, bro.
I mean, damn.
But
and it don't mean
people going, Tanika got her opinion. And she's a strong-willed woman. I know she over 40, I know 45 maybe. I'm just guessing. So you're not going to change her opinion. But again, a typical response would be, well, then Tanika, start a platform. Do it. You can do it in 2026. All you need is a cell phone. You can do it. And see how many people listen to her, whether they be haters or lovers, because friends and family don't count.
Well, that's what I want the people that think that they powerful in what they say. It's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another to think that your opinion is so valued that somebody care what your opinion is. Like, y'all don't care what my opinion is, right? So if you don't care what my opinion is, then why do you, I know you don't care. So if you don't care, and why do you think I care so much if I know you don't care about my opinion? Think about that. People don't have a realization. They're used to being entertained versus being over here and talking about some things that are a little bit different. I don't see myself.
But you need them all. You need all of them. All the haters, all the lovers. You need all of that to have a successful platform. Yeah. Like I said, shout out to Raz, Tanika, Brenda, Vernon, Sierra, AK-40, shout out to everybody in the chat, because without y'all, it wouldn't be a Wyatt Live.
It sure would.
All right.
It sure would.
So,
and that's what I say about Twin. I say the same thing about Twin. They give Twin a hard time, but Twin engages, and he's worth something. He's worth something on the program. He's worth a shout out. He's worth
because starting the podcast or YouTube, it is not easy.
It's not.
You got to try it. I tried it. I put out, why to tell you, me and him, he came on my show. I did some episodes, but I wasn't in front of the camera. I had an audio podcast, but it's hard work. Yeah. Because again, you want to draw people to you. You want people to listen. What would be the point in doing it if nobody's listening?
I agree totally.
Yeah. So anyway, Wyatt, congratulations on your 6 years, bro.
Thank you, brother.
And shout out to everybody in the Wildlife family. Y'all be safe in them streets. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace out, Wyatt.
Peace out to you. Drop Squad 52 out of California. I appreciate you, brother. Now, y'all know it's my anniversary this weekend. Not only Wyatt Live, but it's me and Mrs. Wyatt's anniversary. Flying to Chicago tonight, and we have dinner reservations tonight. I went last week to the rooftop, just to let you guys know. The rooftop is off the chart in Chicago. It is absolutely off the chart. And I recommend the rooftop to anyone. That was actually my first time being there. I was on the 27th floor or 29th floor, one of the two. It's an amazing time. If you ever get to Chicago, make sure you go to the rooftop. I'm not plugging it, but I had such a great time that I would recommend it to anyone. You know what I mean? It's not a party spot. It's a laid back. It's a grown spot, but it's not super grown. But it's a grown spot, but it's not super grown. Where you got to wear your tuxedo jackets and all that old type of stuff. It's not that. But it's a nice chill spot overlooking the city. You can see the city and you can see the water. It's a nice spot. 29th floor rooftop. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. I got really seconds, but I'll take this call right now because it's an out-of-town call. It's a local call for me, but I'll take this call once again. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Wyatt. This is Tanika. All I need is seconds. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So first thing I want to say is congratulations.
Thank you, sis.
Like other people have said in the chat, you know, it takes a lot of commitment to show up and do something that you're not getting paid for.
Oh man.
And it's for our knowledge and entertainment. And you giving us, I know for me, you've helped me so much, and I just want to appreciate you for that, right? And let me drop something real quick. Stop. Don't ever say to Nikki don't understand something. You got the wrong one. I don't know who you think I am. And for the record, I am 48. Been there, done that. This is not my first rodeo. I love podcasts.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I listen to you, because, and everybody on here, we love what you do. If we did, we wouldn't be here.
I feel you.
So I think, and Wyatt, I think you do a good job. And I heard you the other day say that, you know, people are shocked by you doing this. So you stepped out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
To do this. Yeah. So, pat yourself on the back. And Wyatt, if we did not like you, if we didn't want to see you succeed, we wouldn't be here. We show up because we love podcasts, and you happen to be a really good podcaster, in my opinion. So thank you for all you do. And what's his name? Don't come for me no more. Thank you.
I think he really cared. I think he like you, sis. I think he enjoys, you know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, look, if we see anybody outside of this chat, it's going to be all love, because to me, it's a community, and to me, it's become a family. So, when we show up, I know for me, I don't mean no harm. I like to have fun. I like to laugh, and you really do add value to this space. So don't ever think that you don't, because we're here. We could be doing something else. You add value. So thank you for that. But when we disagree with you, it's okay. Like, I know people don't agree with me. My husband don't agree with me all the time. That's okay. It's good to have good dialogue back and forth. So I know you got to go.
I do.
Thank you for what you do for my business. Thank you for always promoting me. Thank you for always pushing me. I really appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you more. You are the reason why I continue to come on, because I know you struggle to make things happen. You know, it's a struggle running small businesses. Even when you're successful, struggle is part of the success. So even when you're doing it at a high level, we still struggle. I struggle every day in my job, at my work. So it's people like you, Tanika, that I know who love to hear about the grind and the reward that comes from the grind. It's people like you, Tanika, that make me continue to come. Because listen, I contemplated about stopping, and you know who always come to my mind? People like yourself, people like Jenny, people like LaDonna, Jerica, people like that who, well, I don't know about Jerica. Jerica don't sound like she's strong.
Man, Jerica, one of the coolest, sweetest people. Everybody on here cool, for real. And we really do root for you.
What I'm saying is, I was mentioning people that I know had like businesses, small businesses. I don't know her like that to say that. What I'm saying is people that I don't want to give up on, the Sierras. I said that not to be disrespectful to Jerica. I got love for Jerica. We just go at it at times. I'm talking about the people who reach out to me sometimes, Tanika, who want me to talk about certain things. And I know why they want me to talk about it, because it's like a struggle that they may be going through with their business. So when I contemplate leaving and not doing this anymore, they're the people that come to mind first. It's like, if I stop this, whether that, I'm failing them, I'm letting them down.
Yeah, I get that.
You feel me?
Thank you so much. Yes, I do. Right. And one day we're gonna get you that pineapple upside down pound cake. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it. I'm telling you.
You know, I've only eaten one in my life. Not one. Like one. My grandmother was the only one that fixed it. That's the only pineapple upside down cake I've ever had. I tried one from a bakery one time many years ago, and it just didn't. It was from like some suburban bakery. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't taste like.
What was missing is love. That's why my cakes are so good. You got to put that love in it. I get excited when I make cakes. That's how much I love it. Okay. And I think when you're excited, but like what you do, when you're excited about what you do, people feel it. And in my case, people can taste it, because it's like, man, she put some love in that. So thank you. I know you got to go.
That's a bar. Wait, say that again. People can feel what you they can feel what you say, but they can taste. What did you say?
Yeah, they can taste the love I put in my cake. Okay. They feel what you do, but they can taste. They actually can taste the love that I put in my cakes, because I get excited. It's like a rush for me. It's almost like singing. So that's like my two loves, singing and baking. Yeah.
Yo, that is a bar, queen. That was a bar. Yeah. I have to give you that. You should maybe make that your slogan for your company.
I might have to do that.
Just a suggestion, because that shit was fire. They can taste. They can taste Yeah.
I'm working on this website from scratch. It's kicking my tail, but I'm gonna get it done.
Let AI do it. Stop working so hard. Working hard.
I gotta do it because people want these cakes.
Yeah,
I
know.
Get it done.
I know. Let AI do it. That's the cheapest staff member you'll have in your life. I have AI. I'll be honest with you.
She helping me.
Yeah.
I call my AI my bestie. So she helping me, but it's a platform that it's not like Shopify. It's a different platform. So when I say from scratch, it's a blank screen, but it's coming together beautiful.
Hey, DH, me too. I ain't gonna lie. Tanika, I'm hungry now. You didn't say that shit about them cakes. I'm hungry. Hey, but that's fire. Hey, Tanika, I gotta go. I got a flight I gotta catch with me and the missus, and I'll talk to you soon. You in Orlando, and you know what? You're about 3 hours from me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to meet halfway.
Yeah, we're gonna have to meet. Me and the wife, you and the husband.
Me and my husband. We'll meet halfway. Now I have your cake with me.
Yeah, we'll do some wings or something on me because we're inviting. I'm in.
That sounds good.
Okay, we'll make that happen this summer. Is that cool?
All right, take care. Happy anniversary.
Same to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. That is Tanika out of Orlando. Folks, it's been real. I want to thank those that gave me your time, your energy, your ear, your opinions. I appreciate it. It's been 6 years now. And I was gonna tell y'all this was my last show. Like, take this 6 years and take these 6 years and get what you got out of it. I'm still waiting from Vernon. I can't do it now because I gotta go. I promised my wife that I would, we're gonna make it to the airport in time. Y'all know that TSA shit going crazy right now. Now we do have a little bit of advantage because I do the pre-check through TSA and all that type of stuff. We don't really wait in them lines like that. That's just business. I travel so much that I travel and I run through airports like OJ sometime to catch my connectors and stuff. So I had to learn 5 years ago to get that pre-check stuff. And so even when I'm doing vacationing or going on personal trips, I still use my TSA pass. And but right now they're telling people to get to the airport 2 to 3 hours, earlier because of the TSA lines and things of that nature. So I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. All of the Sierra said pre-check is everything, especially right now. Thank you guys for being here with me. 6 years, y'all tolerating me, through the tough times, through the good times. You've seen me be hyped. You've seen me amped. You've seen me cry. You've seen me be oversensitive to some things, and you've seen me be desensitized to some things. I guess that's what happens when you really have your heart into something. When you really love something. See, let me tell y'all something. I love this. I don't know if it loved me back, but I love this. And the only reason why you see me react the way I do is because I really do care. So peace and love to you guys. I'll see you guys Monday. I should be here on Monday. I'm coming back Sunday night. The reason being is because I have a very important meeting on Monday morning here at home. So peace and love to everybody. Happy anniversary to all the family, because without y'all, we don't have a show. So thank you. Thank you for being here. See you on Monday. Peace and love to you all right? Right here, Monday morning, Monday at 1 o'clock. Peace. I holla.
My style's so amazing. I got style, flavor, grace, and plus a different technique.
I see you, Prin. Turn me up, though. Need my vocals loud. This that gutter shit. That's a nice motherfucker shit. Playing ball at the rucker shit. Nigga. These niggas read off a script. When they see me, they stop the acting. School shooter, gray coat 45 when I lock the class in. Drunk nights, I would battle the Remy with lots of passion. Lost the war knowing it never was easy to block a captain. Lean back, soldier, you need crack, don't ya? Won't let you quit, here go a fix. Just relapse, won't ya? This that fatigue rap, jeans black, Green Bay jersey matching a team hat. You all need crack, so I brought Preem back. No more Mr. Nice Guy, we the owners of street rap. It's hard to earn, my daily operation is bring the streets back. Every day I go in the booth, I load up and shoot. When I step in the arena, always seen a moment of truth. I've been a gangster. From flipping raw years of prison brawls and shank scars. No need for thanks, y'all. I'm from the bottom bred with niggas that twist your top like they locking dreads. Chestnut checkers, your bishop get jumped by Rodamez.
When they say my style's so amazing. Style, flavor, grace. I got style, flavor, grace, and plus a different technique. They say my style's so amazing. Style, flavor, grace, and plus a different technique. They say my style's so amazing.
It's that rooftop music right here, that staircase shit. Yeah,
they say my style's
let's
so
go.
amazing.
My talk is a food for thought, so none other could raise the stakes. Make your plate, got no filler, so save your amazing grace. I'm from the jungles. They knew that my mother would raise an 8, born from the bottom. It's true that the gutter don't make mistakes. I got the formula, the formula, make it euphoria. Honoria, on a run eating, creeping to Florida. I ain't even applauding you. These two hands come together to slaughter you. No one remembers the thought of you. Visions and staircases and rooftops, and even in rare cases we shoot cops. Mask off, got bare faces for new ops. Yeah, I can trigger the worst when I come up big in the verse. You can hear the traces of Tupac. We deep in the trenches, but so poised. I realize the emptiest of minds make the most noise. We dope boys, but move so meticulous. Belichick drawing plays for viciousness. Now you know what the mission is, nigga.